I like that one.
This is scientific research. What a catch.
I like that one too.
Oh, I like that one. Oh, I like that one. I don't like that.
This is what I was thinking of. It was this scene. For some reason, I was thinking of CGI fish. I mean, we got 5 people here. What do you guys want to do?
How to change your dragon in the
Among
corner.
Us.
Do you guys want to do a tier list?
Oh yes,
Why not?
Disney music
Alright.
tier list. The
Okay.
Disney songs tier list.
Hottest animated male characters, and they show Shrek.
That one.
You
that
hear
one,
me
that
out?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh,
Bender.
this is
Hold
too
on,
long.
Bender.
This
Oh,
is too
dude.
long.
Bender.
Oh, Benson?
Is that the
Bender.
fucking my
Bender.
leg?
That's
Wait, DJ, look below C3PO. Is that the fucking my leg guy?
Wait. C3PO. Oh,
His name is Fred!
Goofy.
His name is Fred! Get it right!
I think I would fuck half
Goofy
the
with a
girl.
This
blue
is way
hat.
too long.
Oh
This
dear.
is way too
Oh
long.
dear. Oh dear.
Oh my god. Is that
okay,
Lord
never mind.
Farquaad?
I hear you. Lord Farquaad. Okay, we leave it. The blue
Fred the
M&M.
cow?
He's not really hearing me out.
Fred the cow?
What
These
is
are
thi- what
very
is this
understandable.
thing?
Wait, hold on.
What am I looking at?
That
These
looks
are
like
really
clam-
understandable.
Wrinkle
Wrinkle skin is not a hear me out.
These are really reasonable. We're saying as
That was a very
as,
reasonable one, okay?
As Lord Farquaad is standing right there.
Legally as a woman, that's real.
Robbie Run? That's not a hear me out. Everybody has that opinion. Oh, unless you're
No,
talking about the
literally,
zombie.
everyone has like guilt
Mhm.
fantasies about him.
Unless you're
Come on.
talking about the zombie, then yeah, that's hear me out.
Alright, this one sucks. Let's find another one.
Oh, here we go. 1,000+ entries.
Oh, for
Oh my
fuck
god.
off.
Oh my god.
my
Oh
god.
my god.
Yay!
No, we're not doing
Alright.
this one.
Movie night is saved. Alright,
Oh, man.
Let's do the Disney FNAF characters.
FNAF. What's there to talk about? They're characters.
Oh,
He's
that's
the
not
most
even
fucking-
all of them. Never mind. Boo.
Smasher
We have
Pass.
to understand lore for this
He's not-
shit, and I'm
Smasher
not
Pass.
smart enough for that.
He's the most fuckable.
Every food. No, that's lame. What
Sonic.
Do we want to do the Disney like lyric songs?
Kinda, but I feel like that's gonna take a while, and there's a lot of Disney movies I haven't seen yet. Hold on, I'm gonna look up tier list.
You already looked up tier list.
Shut up. I mean in Discord.
Master Pass,
Oh,
Sonic
oh.
Edition.
Oh wait, Arcane song tier list.
Oh, I like that.
because
Robert
we
De Niro
can't
on
because we
top.
can't finish it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We can't finish it because we never finished the show on here. And also, Nick hasn't seen any of it. Never mind.
Yeah.
We could do the Disney one just to
Okay, you know what? I got one.
Fortnite.
yeah.
If we don't want to do the Disney songs one, we could do like maybe a Disney like maybe more specific so it won't be as long, like Disney villain songs.
Here we go, Metallica songs.
like
we could
Disney
do
villain,
villain
songs.
sure.
Or
Disney.
if we wanted to do something not Disney, we could, or like not specifically like Disney animated musical movie, we could do
Have
we
you
could
guys
do,
ranked
all like maybe MCU movies, because even like if we haven't seen all of them, we could just
like
have like
that.
a category that's like I haven't seen it.
All right, what are we gonna listen
I
to?
could also vouch. I could also
Last
vouch.
time, I'm just gonna not worry about it. There you go.
It's like if it's a
Oh,
movie
yeah.
you guys haven't seen, I could vouch and
Have
give
you
you
seen
guys an
all of
awesome
them?
opinion. Basically, at this
Marvel.
point.
All right, all Marvel media, all of it.
Oh,
Every single
including
one of it.
all the
Oh my
non-MCU
God.
No, hell
Oh
no.
no, we
Wait,
want
wait,
MCU. We
animated
want
stuff too?
MCU.
MCU, Disney Plus. Here we go.
all movie shows.
Is this everything?
Okay.
Yeah. Wait. Hold on. Let's see where we're at.
It might be outdated. Is Thunderbolts on there?
Let's see.
Power scaling.
Yeah.
Marvel villain.
Yeah, there is power scaling.
Marvel movies and shows.
Oh
Man,
god.
some of these aren't.
Oh wait, not even MCU. Oh,
Some of them
Yeah,
are.
these are
Actually,
MCU.
nowadays it's like yeah, some of them
I
can
can't.
be, but
I
it's
don't
like,
like how that one's made. Up to Born Again. Oh, Daredevil.
Daredevil Born Again. Okay, so Falcon
my
and the Winter
God.
Soldier is included, but Thunderbolt is not.
God, how do you watch all
No.
of this, dog?
No, because this isn't right. There's the okay. Wait, hold up.
I'm
Hold
just
up.
gonna
Hold
look
up.
up
Hold up.
MCU.
I got
Hold
this.
on. I'm just gonna look up MCU.
Yeah, get MCU.
All canon ranked by tier list. Okay. What is
I
this up
forgot, I forgot
to?
Asian.
What is this order?
forgot-
Ew. Marvel Cinematic Universe. Stop. Why do you order it like
No.
this?
Wait.
Marvel credits.
Strong fight.
Films MCU complete. This has gotta be.
Complete.
Okay. I don't. Why is Morbius here?
X-Men.
You know
I
what?
hate
Why
that
is the
Morbius
new
is
You know
awesome.
what?
Remember the post-credit scene in Morbius
Yeah.
where they introduced the
just do
No,
it.
I
wait,
didn't
wait,
watch
just do-
Morbius.
just do that one. Just do the MCU films complete,
It's just the MCU
and
villain.
we'll just ignore anyone that's not.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
actually
Here we go.
them.
Okay,
Oh,
we're
oh,
up to date.
oh,
It doesn't
oh, we
include
did
the
it, we
shows,
did it,
but
we
we'll
did it.
take it.
I'm getting rid of these
Yeah.
bum ass
I haven't
tier
seen the
names
shows.
though. Hold on.
No, but Excelsior.
We're not talking about the shows. I've only seen like 2 of them, and all of them are eh. Here we go.
Loki's pretty good though.
Yeah, Loki
Loki
is
season 1 is good. I did not care for season 2 at all.
I haven't seen it yet.
I'm trying to think.
All right.
I guess
I've
Marvel
only seen
vs.
like a few of
Capcom,
these
whatever.
movies.
Okay,
It's
let's
fine. We're gonna go through
let's
them anyways.
go.
Iron Man. I say A.
Iron Man.
Yeah, I think a solid
I-
A is a nice
might-
foundation for it.
I might say Iron Man. Personally, I think Iron Man might be a B.
Personally,
I think
might
if anything,
personally,
low
I'm gonna
A,
rip- I'm
high
gonna-
B.
personally, I'm gonna rip into your pants and grab your balls and rip them off your body.
I love
shove
I
them into
love
somebody's
Iron
mouth.
Man, but I also feel like in terms of like if we're talking about like it like as a film, I feel like it's pretty like above average.
Hey, Nick,
B.
Nick. Hold up. Nope, my sneeze is gone. Never mind.
Okay.
He's trying to sneeze on you.
Aubrey, what do you say?
Just personally.
For Iron Man, guys, well, actually, yeah, I think A tier is actually pretty understandable.
I think most of us
Personally-
say A.
I think definitely A. But I think for me, at least, it's a low A, high B. It's like it's driving the
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
that's
an 8
the
out of
thing
10.
for me is like
I think it's a good
I would
starting
personally-
foundation.
Yeah,
I think
that's
it's
what I'm saying. I feel like it's personally
an-
for me, it's a B, but I won't argue.
It's an 8 out of 10.
Like I won't be like, yeah, it's an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
For me, that's a B, but I feel like I won't
It's a good
argue.
start.
I won't argue with like I want to put it at A. Like I'll be like, okay, that's fine. I can
really,
accept
8
that.
out of 10 is a B for you?
Yeah.
I scale
mean,
I scale it like 9 and 10 is S for me.
Oh no. No, I mean I kind of do like
And then an 8 out of 10 is an A for me.
I kind
7,
of do like
6, B.
academic scoring.
It's literally just like based on how much like the movie works for me is how I don't know how to explain it. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Red Moon's current hyperfixation. Where are we putting it?
I haven't seen that one yet. I plan to.
I don't.
So
remember-
this one's
I've only seen
a
season
bit of a
3.
tricky one, honestly.
yeah?
It's like
See.
people acknowledge it, but it's like it's not one you're gonna really remember. I'll be 100% honest.
I don't remember it like at all.
Yeah, that's
I
the
would put it
problem.
in C.
That's the
C.
problem. It's like it's very C.
It's
It's
C
very
for me because
below
I feel like
that.
it's very average.
Are
The
there-
only thing that I really like about this movie that I feel like I don't really care for in a lot of the MCU is that I think the Hulk looks best in this movie. I don't mean like CGI wise, like in terms
But
of
it's like
like
From what
the
I've seen.
CGI is obviously outdated, but the design for the Hulk is the best in this movie out
well,
of
I think
every
yeah.
other
If we're
one.
talking in terms of a Hulk, this is a pretty solid Hulk.
From what I've seen, from the clips I've seen of this Hulk, I actually agree. I kind of prefer this design.
I just like it
Whatever
because
hot
it's
take.
like in the other ones he's kind of like they almost like Disneyfy him a bit, I guess would be the right way of putting it.
Monk.
where it's like in this one, he just
Oh
like
my god.
What is that
Gross.
poster?
Oh, that is
in this
horrendous.
one.
What
What I really like is that he looks like monster.
looks
Like he
angry,
looks
yeah.
grotesque in this movie.
Yeah, he looks like unnatural.
Yeah,
definitely
and I
made
feel
him
like he
look
doesn't look
human.
like that in any other movie, and I feel like
But I
that's
don't mind
like
his
that the most.
appearance in like
That's
Avengers.
not
and stuff.
MCU Hulk. That's
Because it's
2003.
I
like,
don't
yeah,
mind
he's
it. I
pretty
just think
decent.
That's not
this
MCU
one
Hulk.
has the best look for him. So I would put it in C.
Alrighty. I
I
personally
think
would
it's
put
like-
it in D, seeing as I don't remember it like at all.
Let's see, DJ. If you're interested, we could just watch the Hulk together because I plan to see that one.
Sure.
If you're interested.
Mhm.
Why not?
Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2, I also don't remember this
Uh.
one. I remember Justin Hammer.
I-
That guy's
Oh,
Me
funny.
neither. I don't remember this one at all.
Just-
D.
This one's not.
Justin Hammer is a funny man, and I think for that it deserves D.
I gotta agree. I think as like a sequel, it doesn't really hold up to like a bunch of other stuff. I think out of the trilogy, though, I think Thor is arguably the weakest of the batch in terms of. Well, I'm not even.
What
I
are we
don't
talking about?
count Thor: Love
What are
and
we talking
Thunder.
about Thor for?
Just like in terms of like before Thor: Love and Thunder came out, in terms of like trilogies, like
No,
of the.
we were talking about
big
Iron
three.
Man 2.
I know. Let me lead into my point. Fuckstick. Let me lead into my point, fuckstick. In terms of like the main three, like of like the main faces of Marvel, I think Iron Man personally is like the middle ground for like sequel movies. I think of his
Gotcha.
batch, he has some decent ones, but compared to like Thor, who
Yeah,
is like his first two movies are definitely not.
Thor's the big stinker quadrilogy. Captain America is
Thor
the
is
really
a
good
big
like
stinker.
series, and then Iron Man is like the. Yeah.
It's like that. It's okay. It's
We'll
the
get
best part-
talking about a certain trilogy later.
And Hulk,
later.
he doesn't have a trilogy.
And Hulk, you smash.
And Hulk, you
Alright,
got nothing.
All right, cool.
Thor.
Thor.
I'm gonna have to contest this ranking.
Really?
Even though I think
Well, one
Thor
sucks, I'm
is
sorry.
not a good movie. I think that F tier for the original Thor is a bit much. I think it's a D.
Have you seen
No,
it recently?
no, it's
I have.
fucking
This
sucks.
I have.
there was
There's
nothing to this movie for me. It
I
was
don't even
There's
remember
so
what
much
happened
to
other than
watch.
only sleep.
but like the thing is, while I agree, there's so much worse on this list
I
that I
sure, but then we
genuinely
just put it at the
feel
top
like
of F tier.
I feel like it's putting this movie next to Thor: Dark World doesn't do
No,
it for me.
I have
Thor:
a,
Dark
I
World
have a
is
hot take. I have
immensely worse.
I have a really
What's your
hot
hot take?
take.
I'm gonna be
Wow.
honest, I don't remember a single thing from Dark World.
Thor 1 is like hold on. I said this to Holden a while ago. I phrased it really well. I don't remember if it was Holden or oh no. I don't I don't like that.
Mm.
I don't like that. All right, anyways,
Oh.
I was talking to Holden about the first Thor. Sorry, Thor: The Dark World is like egregiously stupid, but it is so fun to watch in its own weird way. The original Thor is just boring. There's nothing to it. There's nothing interesting to talk about. It's like, oh, God is neither parts of this movie are any sort of interesting or fun to watch. Neither the Norse god stuff nor the Jane Foster romance. I don't care about any of it. There are brief moments that are funny, like with the hammer. That's it. You get one scene that's any sort of charming.
I will say this. I think I have to kind of stand with DJ on this one, because while I at least remember Thor: The Dark World for honestly some of the Loki stuff it has to offer. I think putting Loki into a little bit more limelight instead of just sidelining him off was definitely a much better choice.
Here we go.
But I think with Thor, the first Thor, it's just like perfect. Okay, awesome. Roller coaster of shit fuck.
Yeah. That's the
That's
best
the best
way
way to
to
describe it.
describe Thor. The roller coaster of shit fuck. Wow, the first
It's
Thor is
like
just
it's
really
not
boring.
perfect. I will still
not
say
even
it's
close
not
to
perfect
perfect.
in any state.
And I don't plan
Anyway.
on rewatching it anytime soon.
But at least
But it's so funny.
at least it's like a lower roller coaster where at
But
least
it
you're
is
having fun,
so funny.
even if you're not going to go on it again.
I would much rather rewatch Thor: The Dark World than the original Thor. Much rather. If I remember correctly, Thor was a 2 out of 10 and Dark World was a 3 out of 10. Let's hear from more of the audience though. Aubrey, what are you thinking?
Guys, I literally know nothing about MCU, so I'm just gonna make an assumption here. Okay, so I think hear me out, S tier. Why not? There's nothing in S
You
tier
know
right
what? You know what? You know what? There it goes.
now. Yeah.
You know
God,
what? You know
Aubrey, you're
what?
so
Both of
fucking
them.
smart.
Both of them in
Can someone convince me why it should be anywhere higher than a D tier?
hold on.
All right, let me break it down for you.
I'm really leaning towards S tier now.
Does this convince you? Does this convince you that it's a D tier?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Better
there we
yet,
go.
make it
All right,
F
moving.
tier,
All right,
for
moving on.
sure.
All right, moving on. Red Moon, what's your opinion?
On Dark World, I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember like a lot
No,
from
on-
it. I just
on,
remember
like,
the elves fighting,
The
Thor's
debate
mom dies,
on both of
and
these.
then the climax.
On both of these, Thor being an
both
F
of these, I
tier,
think-
yay or nay?
I think yay.
All right,
So,
Thor: Dark World being in D tier,
It's kind of
yay or
it's
nay?
very slow. I'd say F, but like higher than the first.
I guess I won't argue with that.
Because it's definitely like leans
What
more
about-
to the fantasy
about
stuff,
you,
which is
Jacob?
glorious.
Yeah, Jacob,
Yeah.
what do you? Yeah, F tier
I-
above the original Thor, but still there.
Yeah, still pretty there.
Dang. Sorry, Nick, you got ratioed, buddy.
I will settle for that. That's okay.
Okay, the first Captain America.
See,
Severe.
I
See,
I haven't seen it. It's been a long time. I haven't seen it. I just
I'd
remember I
put
like
it in
ending.
B personally, but especially above the Hulk. Like I find the
it's
Hulk
above
just
the
kinda
Hulk,
boring
but I
compared
think
to
it's
it.
yeah.
Like there's some ridiculousness. I think the beginning is really strong, but it kind of falls apart for me. When,
I remember,
as
like,
soon as he
ending.
starts.
I thought
The ending
was
is pretty.
beautiful.
The ending's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, the ending
And
is
he
okay.
fucked me up with
really
the child.
It's
He
also
fucked me up with the
that's
child. I
awesome.
was like, Captain America dies,
No.
and then I didn't. It didn't come out yet. I think. So I was like sad that he just
Okay.
didn't come back.
Okay. Are we fine with top of C for Captain America then? C for Captain
Yeah,
America.
Extremely
Haven't seen
top tier.
There you
C,
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
top C.
I would personally
Those
put.
spell?
Huh?
Those who spell?
Yeah. I'd personally
So-
put it in B tier, but I
That's right.
will concede for C tier if the universal opinion is C tier.
Woo! Woo! Everything to
And
walk
why
on.
the hell there bacon in my baconator?
I thought they just
Why is
baked the
there a
sandwich.
burger in my burger?
Why is
I
there
asked for
cheese
no
in
pickles in
cheeseburger?
my fucking
Why is there
burger,
an A in
and
my
they gave me the
burger?
motherfucking McPicklenator.
I asked for no chicken in my wings.
I specifically named pickle burger.
All right, the Avengers. Where are we putting it?
I remember I liked it.
In
This
the
is a
Marvel
really
universe.
hard. This is a really
I need
hard
to rewatch
one,
all
but I
these.
think it'd have to be bottom of S.
Bottom
Or
S.
top of A.
I was gonna say top of A.
I wouldn't
think
say
A.
It's not as
yeah,
honestly.
A
It's
is
it's a bit more difficult to revisit. There's some slow bits in this movie that are that.
The thing is,
yeah,
the
it's
writing,
definitely a
the
hard
writing,
one to rewatch.
the writing for
but-
this movie is very good.
Oh no, it
It's
is
very
really
sharp.
good.
It's very funny.
Engage
Yeah.
with the greater MCU.
The issue with this movie, though, the biggest issue, is that it's so flat.
Yeah.
Like it's so boring to look at.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
There's really nothing special to the presentation of it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it looks like a TV
sure.
movie.
Yeah,
For
it looks
sure,
like
for
a.
sure.
I would say it looks like a straight to Disney Plus, but that's selling the movie too short. I'd say the CGI is good. It's just not interesting.
Mhm.
Versus modern
Tom.
Disney that just
When you
doesn't.
say it's flat, are you
Precisely.
knocking just like the CGI quality or just like the color grading?
The
It's
visual style.
it's the way it's shot. The way it's shot, the way it's lit.
the visual stuff, just everything to the visuals. It's
Mhm.
you can
Okay.
tell that it wasn't given the same like there's a very
Yeah.
clear distinction between how this movie looks and how like Guardians of the Galaxy looks.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Iron Man.
I also
3.
think that's just how like the director's style is, and I'm not one for it personally. To be fair, he's also a piece of shit, so there's that.
Mhm.
The Russos?
No,
Kevin
it was
Feige.
Joss
Whedon.
Whedon.
Oh, it was Joss Whedon.
Yeah, we know
Yeah.
Joss Whedon's a very big piece of shit.
Oh boy, Joss Whedon. Which sucks because I love The Big Lebowski. Alright, well,
love his movies,
you,
but fucking hate the guy.
Jacob, you said piece of shit like Mr. Boss, Smiley Friends.
Yeah, you have that on your permanent record now. All right, Iron Man 3. I've not seen this movie. It looks interesting though. I can't tell if
It's
it
All
might be
right,
really boring though. That's my only worry.
I honestly had
think
fun
it's
with
overrated.
Iron Man 3 personally.
Okay.
Same.
Where would you put it?
I personally would put it like as a guilty pleasure movie, it's an S tier, but as like a movie, I think I'm putting it like
F.
low key.
I'm gravitating towards like here. I don't know. This just feels right
or
to
F
me.
word.
Nick, have you seen
I
it?
personally had a lot more time.
I-
because-
I feel
My
like
bad.
this movie gets a lot of hate. I don't think it really deserves all of it.
Okay, where would you put it?
Top of C.
Top of C, above Captain America.
Yeah.
I could settle for that. I could
Okay.
settle for that.
Okay.
I also have a little more bias to it because it was my first MCU movie I watched in theaters, like
Oh,
vividly remembering so.
What?
So
You
I have
didn't
a little
see
more
Avengers?
bias to it. I never saw the Avengers. No,
What? That was one of
I
my
know.
first. That was one of my first theater experiences. It was that.
I
and Kung Fu
never
Panda
saw
2.
it. I know it's crazy, right?
That's-
I
wow.
never did.
You missed out. That was.
I missed out.
Alrighty.
It's like
has
I wasn't
anybody
too big on
else-
the Avengers because I was watching X-Men stuff at the time.
I see. I see. Has anybody else seen Iron Man 3 and cares to share? Okay, what do you think?
I mean,
Please
I
raise your
have
hand.
something to share.
I like that
about
movie.
Okay.
A bit of a story.
I think
Yeah.
I think it's kind of overrated. A movie
If
for
I
real.
may. Alright,
Okay,
so
okay.
I saw the Thor movies in F tier, and that reminded me of something. I once saw like one of those custom printed shirts, right? Alright, so it said
Where is this
father,
going?
but the pun was fa Thor. It was father, but the pun was fa Thor. Thor, like Marvel, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, it was meant to say fa. It was meant to say fa Thor, right? But in the circle of the letter O was the Avengers logo, and that's a letter A. So what did it say?
What?
Fathar.
Oh, interesting. What? How'd they?
Yes.
Wait, how'd they do? Oh, because of the circle in the Avengers thing.
Yeah, because it's just a letter A,
Oh.
and that was meant to represent the letter O.
That's that don't work. I don't work like that. Alrighty.
What was the thought process
I'm
behind
gonna-
designing that?
I'm gonna keep Iron Man 3 here. Winter Soldier. I know what we're all thinking,
Easy
and we
answer.
can all say it at the same time. Are you ready? 1,
A for
2,
America.
3.
One.
B
Yes.
tier. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yes!
Yay!
We got our first S tier.
Yeah, that feels right. Me personally, I'd put it A, but this movie is
Kill yourself.
What's up?
moving on. Guardians of the Galaxy. Where are you putting it?
I like Rocket Raccoon.
S.
Right here.
I play him in Marvel Rivals. I like him.
I mean, it's S tier, but I'm having a hard time differentiating whether or not it should be above or below.
I personally put it above Winter Soldier.
I like Peter Quill because he shares a name with Peter Parker.
Oh, yeah.
Peter Griffin.
This is true, actually. This is true.
Lois. I personally put it above
Lois,
Winter
I need your
Soldier.
power
What do you guys think?
I'd keep it below, I think.
I'm fine with
Gamorreans?
that because there are better Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and we will get into that later.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Any other opinions?
That's fine. I don't
Alright,
record
cool.
None that matter.
Age of Ultron.
No other opinions.
Age of Ultron.
B.
I don't fuck with this one.
No?
Oh.
I
would you
don't
put it?
fuck with this one. I'd put it like mid C.
This movie is hype.
Alright, I'm gonna put
This
it
movie
B
is hype
then.
moments and aura.
Yeah, it's just like
I'm gonna be real.
I love it for Ultra.
It does everything that I don't like about the Avengers right, but everything that the Avengers got right, it doesn't. Like that's kind of how I
What
see
don't you
this
like about the
movie.
Avengers?
It's flat. It's not very
I like
interesting to me.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
Thing. I was geeking out when I saw they introduced Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. You know, me being the X-Men guy.
No.
This was their big debut, and then they go. What do they fucking do? They go and kill that Quicksilver within his first
Yeah,
appearance.
Lamau, because
For
you can't
fuck all.
have a speedster and then have any conflict or stakes going
Well, I'll
forward.
tell
just
you. I'll tell you my
conflict.
personal grievance with this movie.
Yeah, is it
I-
Ultron?
Hate, capital HATE, Ultron
Yeah.
in this movie. I understand.
Ultron, get behind
I
me!
understand the point. Oh, it's a dark reflection of Tony Stark. Oh, we're gonna to do that. We're gonna have him quip
But Ultron
machine.
isn't just a
Oh, he's a
one-off
fucking
villain.
robot. He's a fucking He's a fucking killing machine. He doesn't have time to quip. That's like literally not what he does. It's so antithetical to his character.
I think
It completely
I think
ruins
my-
it.
Ultron is like that, yeah.
I think my big issue is that Ultron could be like a saga like
Saga.
series villain and not just like
He
a one and done.
Yes,
he
can be
this
a
is
fucking
this is a character that has
saga
so
villain.
much
I
potential.
agree. I agree with you,
His
TJ.
And
whole
they-
character is
He's
that,
one of my
you know,
favorite villains.
You can never quite get rid of him.
Yeah.
Like he's the dictionary definition of a series villain.
He always upgrades, yeah.
And yet they keep they keep Vision around, but not Ultron. Like they kind of just threw him away at the end of this movie, which like I don't know.
No,
This
because
character
you
has so
can't,
much
you
potential.
Also,
can't have the bad guys
They
get
kill
away.
Ultron like 3 times in this movie.
Yeah.
They like legitimately kill him 3 times.
Yeah. But
I mean,
I-
Ultron, that's kind of the
And
point.
it gets
think
dumber every time.
I think my favorite part of this movie is when they go off the grid, and there's just so much tension in between the characters in all of those scenes, and it's really fun to watch.
You know, I should watch
And
this.
it makes it
The only
satisfying
reason-
when they
the only
they
reason this
come back.
movie even like gets recognition from me or sees the light of day in my mind is because it introduced Elizabeth Olsen's
Wanda.
Scarlet Witch,
Yeah.
and so like.
Granted, here I will say I don't like that she loses the accent over time, and that kind of
Yeah.
pisses me off.
It happens
But
often.
at the same time, I get it. I get it, but I would have liked if they kept her accent, you know? But that's just me.
But yeah,
She had an accent? I didn't remember
I
that.
don't like her because she's white.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Olsen's
No,
white
no.
as shit.
No.
I will also introduce a funny fact to you guys real quick. So, I saw this movie in 2015 when it first came out, and what was playing through my mind is that Aaron Taylor Johnson, who played Quicksilver in this, and Elizabeth Olsen was also in this movie, played a husband and wife in the Godzilla 2014 movie, literally the year before him. So I'm like, ew, why are they doing that?
Wake up, Ultimate X-Men.
Ah!
So
You're
I'm gonna actually say I lower my thing. I lower it. My initial thing was B. I think I might lower it back down to C.
And
I lower it down to F.
all right, it goes to F. Moving on. Jacob, where would you put it?
I still sit on C tier for Avengers Age of
Luna,
Ultron.
where would you put it?
I think where it is right now is fine.
Okay,
That's your B.
I'm gonna leave it where it is because I would say
Okay,
I would say bottom A, but I'm fine leaving it in B for now. And then if we feel like it, because we don't have anything in B, this feels like a solid B movie. Ant-Man. Speaking of
B
solid
movie.
B movies,
Okay, this one I can
It's
agree is
bad.
an actually
Yeah.
solid
Yeah.
view.
It has Thomas in it. It has a giant ass Thomas.
so I'm sorry. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally find these movies really, really charming. I don't know what it is. It might just be Paul Rudd. It might just be the Shrinking being the coolest like mechanic in the MCU. I don't know. I really like Ant-Man, but I can acknowledge it's not the greatest cinematic achievement of all time. I also really like Darren as a villain. I really like the villain in this movie. I think he's really fun. And people really
I want
hate
my
him.
daddy. I want your daddy too.
I think the visuals are super fun and creative. I think the characters are really fun. The music's great. Like this is the first time that a main theme in Marvel like stuck out to me. I'm putting an A. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
Hey,
I think A is good.
I have to agree.
I was
Yeah.
actually about to argue
I think
that
for
it
another
would be A.
introductory movie, this movie works extremely surprisingly well.
He kicks the shit out of Sam in the first scene that Sam gets by himself, which is kind of funny.
I just the thing about this movie that I think is really good is that it just feels really independent
Yeah.
from the other Marvel movies, and I think that really works in its favor.
Yeah.
Because it's able to just fully focus on making
His
this
own
character.
characters.
And honestly, I like the fact that the Ant-Man movies were kind of just like levity. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Um,
And then there's
people are
Quantumania.
gonna get upset about that later.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to it.
But I've always liked the Ant-Man movies as like a break from the conflict of
Yeah.
everything happening in the MCU. It's just a fun time.
Yeah, because this came right after Age of Ultron, which like saw the Earth about to become a potato. So,
Mhm.
Luna, what do you think?
Potato, because technology. That's
I can't
funny.
remember it. Skip me. I can't remember it.
Salsa, what
I
do you
haven't seen
think?
it in a long time.
I've never seen it. I haven't seen the majority of these movies.
Aubrey, what do you think?
Yeah.
I haven't seen either.
Did you not? What?
You know
Wait,
what?
wait,
A for
I can-
Ant-Man. A for Ant-Man.
I can like feel it. I can see it in my vision. Like I've seen the movie. Like I see it. Like I see it.
You
all
can
the
see it in your
scenes.
what?
The camera zooms into a brain. Vroom.
Yeah. yeah. That's it. Belongs right there. Yep.
Oh my god. There we go.
Like Jimmy Neutron.
Moving on. Civil
I was
War.
like the Jimmy Neutron gif.
Civil War.
Yeah.
Civil War.
We all look at each other.
I haven't
Oh,
seen
yeah.
it,
what are you talking about?
but, I mean, come on now.
I would put
Yeah, I
it
mean,
top of A, but
Top A.
bottom
I
F
hate
is
this
also
movie.
good.
Put it an F.
I think
Alright,
low
moving
S
on.
tier, high A
Yeah.
is really good. It's
It's-
still really good.
My favorite like movies or like whatever in a series is when things like really change. Things get really dire. It splits the characters apart. So this
When
movie
the
really
status
did it for
quo
me.
Changes.
This movie did it for me in that way. Like
Mhm.
this was the turning point for the series going forward, and pretty much every movie after it has ripple effects, and I really respect that. As a movie on its own, there's some pretty silly moments, but it also has some
Yeah.
really good action. This is the one that I've seen
It
the
does.
late out of all of these movies. This is the one I've seen the latest, other than Thunderbolts.
Mhm.
Um,
It's
So
very
this
it's
one's-
very good. It's very
this
good.
one's the most fresh on my mind. And there's a lot of scenes that like I gave it I think an 8 out of 10 for me. But I think as like a status quo change, it works really, really well. Also, it has the best portrayal of Black Panther in the MCU. Fight me.
100%. 100%.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Aubrey.
Sorry.
Deadpool.
Are we
I'm
considering
gonna have
Deadpool
to
on here?
say- Yeah, why not? It's on the
Yeah,
list. Let's
why
just
not?
let's just consider it.
I mean, Logan's on the list.
Yeah, we'll just
We have to
consider it.
consider that
Alright,
too as well.
Deadpool C. Yeah,
Yeah.
Let's see.
thank you.
Because you see his balls in one of those.
Oh yeah.
fight scenes.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Do you?
You don't really see his
No,
balls, but you
he's
see his
naked, but yeah, you do see his butt, so really it should be BT or B for butt. But
Wait,
we're
can
not
you
giving, but we're
pull
not
up
giving
in
the
the-
movie
the-
that.
No.
It's C, and I'll tell
No.
you. And I'll tell
This
you why.
movie, this movie wants to
Alright,
be
look
a
at the
spoof
poster.
movie, but it's too rooted in being like a generic superhero movie to actually go off and be that spoof movie. So it's in this weird middle ground of like, haha, we're not taking it seriously, and then they keep taking it seriously, and so it's hard to get into either side of the movie.
I hate what this movie does or did. Like this movie and also the game that released. Like I think maybe.
Oh
a
my
couple of
god, don't
years
get me
before.
started.
I hate what they did to the perception of Deadpool publicly.
What was the
Well, he's
like a
perception
yapping gif.
beforehand?
Well, like,
He was like
there
a-
wasn't really a
That he's
perception
some,
beforehand.
like-
He was more like under
He was
like
serious.
unknown before.
Like somewhat serious.
Ever since this game and since this movie, the perception of Deadpool has turned into a fucking
He loves
ridiculous,
chimichangas.
crass, chimichanga loving, always goofing off character, which was just never who he was in the comics.
No.
Like, and the
Especially
thing
his
is,
debut.
this movie, I have to give a C because it does try to tap into the deeper and more tragic parts of Deadpool, but it ultimately kind of fails
So
because it sidelines all of it to make it just about his relationship with this girl.
in the comics, is he treated like Deathstroke, like serious?
No.
Oh,
He's
okay.
still goofy. He's
I see that.
always been goofy.
So he's
Oh, like
lighthearted,
everybody
but
else
it comes
coming-
from like tragedy.
Yeah,
In
it's
its
more,
earlier
it's more like
periods.
tragic. It's more like the stories built around it kind of like, you know, or like the stories built around it are more like his stories are ones where he's using that comedy to mask something deeply sad
So
So
with
basically,
him.
like most
And then
depressed
this-
guys who use humor
Yeah.
to cope with
But
that.
Oh,
But in the movies that never comes
God.
across. That never comes across.
That's so cool. Why? Oh, that is really cool.
His
Mhm.
earlier appearances, I would say he's kind of like Slade, but I remember they
And
did
here-
kind of find him annoying.
And the
But,
thing is, with this movie, I give it a high C because it at least does try to
A high
tap into
C?
those more tragic
It's a fucking
aspects.
drink.
But when we get to Deadpool 2,
Yeah, but
He just doesn't know what a high C is.
No, I know what a high C is. I'm making a joke.
No, you don't.
What we're giving
I
Deadpool.
see, like
Get
a-
there.
like
You gotta
a
search
drink?
it up. You don't know what it is.
but when we
Yes.
get to Deadpool 2,
I was showing.
you'll be
Doctor
hearing this
Strange.
right.
Honestly,
Doctor
like, let's get to the
D for Doctor. No, I actually really like this movie.
B, high B. I like it. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. What do y'all think?
Yeah, high B. The fuck off.
All right, F. Moving on.
Mostly,
No,
mostly the movie.
They're good.
Mostly
that's
the
because,
movie
uh,
really like the movie really like helps itself at the end for me. I think the whole Dormammu I'd
Oh,
like to
yeah.
bargain.
I
scene
like that
is-
it's like he
memorable.
doesn't
Very
traditionally
good.
like beat him like
I think that's. I think. I
Like,
think
that
that,
scene-
that scene really did a lot to help that movie in my mind.
That
So
scene is
literally did that
infinite-
whole ending fight is just Benedict Cumberbatch
It's-
versus Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah. It's really cool, really interesting, but honestly kind of stale and boring in how it like it's so hard
Yes.
to talk about because I keep flip-flopping in my mind between like, oh, the magic and the all of the wizardry in this movie is super cool, super awesome, and then like I really also don't care about his love interest. It's like all this stuff is really cool, really awesome, but at the same time it's kind of boring and uninteresting. Like I I
Well,
can't
I
place my
think
finger
the
on it.
score for this movie is pretty unique. Thank you, Michael Giacchino, for being.
Giacchino did a great job with that. Just for Danny Elfman to
did they?
ignore all of it in the sequel. We'll
Hold
get
up,
to
hold
the
up, hold up,
sequel.
hold up.
What?
Did they forget to add Multiverse of Madness?
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. Don't worry, I don't blame them.
Multiverse of Madness.
How do you
I
forget
don't blame
Multiverse
them
of
for
Madness
getting-
but manage to add fucking Quantum Mania? Okay. Which one are we using?
That one.
I think we should use this one.
Just find a select
No,
image with just Wong.
Wait, hold up, wait. I know the image we should use. Hold up, please
I
wait.
wanted to
please wait.
fit this. No, we got this one. Here we go.
You know, that period that
I wanted to
that
fit
period in time
the.
where Wong was just in everything was so funny.
No, wait, DJ, scroll down. That one right there in the middle.
That's it. That's the one.
Do not ask for the name of Wong's actor.
It's Wong.
It's Benedict Wong.
He was born for this role.
When this movie
Wong
came out, that was
plays
before Love and
Wong.
Thunder, right?
Yeah, it was between No Way Home.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
before
it
Love and
was
Thunder.
right
You
before-
gotta
it was
tell
right
me.
there, yeah.
I
Matter
haven't
of fact,
seen.
No Way Home didn't get a proper
Oh,
because it was just a trailer for
oh,
Who's
Wait,
Wait,
coming
guys,
to
we
mind?
should wait, guys, we should use this image. We should use this image.
Oh my god. Oh,
oh, fuck.
oh SpongeBob.
What is happening here?
Oh my gosh. This
The image was titled Deadpool is in Multiverse of Madness.
This, how,
In what how do you get that?
what?
People will, like...
Hold on, let me add another thing. Let me add another thing to it.
Alright, anyways.
Alright, Chad, DJ, I will not accept anything below an S tier for
I
this
haven't
movie.
seen Logan, but it's giving.
Top of S tier.
I haven't seen Logan, but it's giving me major Last of Us vibes, so it's going in top.
It is
Top of S tier. It's an
extremely
incredible
well
movie.
Oh,
done.
speaking
It's so good.
speaking of top of S tier.
Oh, hell yeah. We'll love
Alright.
to see it.
Banger.
Yeah. Any dissenting opinions on Guardians Volume 2?
No?
No, I mean I like Logan more, but I'm okay
this is
with
still
Yeah,
to
I
date.
like Logan a lot more.
Alright. This is still to date my favorite Marvel movie, like ever.
Oh, yeah, Guardians 2 is just, like, extremely fun, but it's also,
I've never seen
like,
a
not
movie.
just family-ness, it's so much more better.
I've honestly
Person.
never. Oh, okay. Everything Everywhere might be my top for this, but this movie balances tone easily the best out of every movie in the MCU because it has the highest laughs and the hardest cries. This movie is really really good.
This is the movie that put me on Mr. Blue Sky.
Yeah. It put me on Mr. Blue Sky, and for that it has my undying love, respect. Yeah. I'm trying to see who you added to. Oh, I see it.
Wait, you just reset the.
Wait, hold on.
No.
Oh, wait, I fucking see it!
What?
Let's see how long it takes.
Go on, Nick.
Oh my god.
We see it? We all agree we see it.
Is that the Universal Studios render?
That's the Universal Studios render,
Come on.
Oh no, that's a Tokyo Fire.
Speaking of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, speaking of
B
Spider-Man.
tier.
B.
Yeah.
I'd say
No, hello?
bottom of B tier, but
Bottom B.
Alright.
Worse than Age of Ultron?
yes, I don't really like Spider-Man: Homecoming.
What do you mean it's
I
worse than
do.
Age of Ultron?
It's a fun movie, but as a Spider-Man movie, it kind of fails beyond like the surface level character traits and like world building, if that makes any sense. I also don't like how you said how Ant-Man was like
It's not
like a
okay.
break from the rest of the universe. This movie was a reminder of that universe, and I'm not really a fan of that. But Spider-Man's always been more of like a like a loner type character, and this movie just doesn't really do it for me.
Absolutely, I think Salsa is completely correct. I think that Salsa is completely correct, and I think that a big problem with that is because this universe never allows him to be an independent hero because he's so irreversibly tied to Tony Stark.
Yeah,
and it's really frustrating.
The first movie, especially, I definitely agree.
Because I think that the Tony Stark Jr. criticism is a bit overblown. I think it's I think that it's definitely present, and I think that it's a bit frustrating, but I think boiling that character down to just that is a bit of an oversimplification. But there is something to be said about the fact that Tom Holland's Spider-Man feels very much in Iron Man's shadow, and it's frustrating because Spider-Man really never should have felt like that.
Yeah.
He's kind of
for all the characters
it's really
to make Iron Man Jr., why did you choose easily the most popular superhero ever made?
That, and also, why would you choose how are we supposed to believe? Part of what makes Spider-Man so interesting is the conflict between his personal life and his superhero life. And part of that personal life is his struggle with finances. But the MCU movies can never do that. They can't do that at all because the struggle with finances is completely overlooked when you have Tony Stark, a billionaire, funding Spider-Man.
And I agree with you on that. I think still as a movie as a whole, it's still really well done. I still think it's well made.
When you look at this movie from anything but a traditional Spider-Man movie, I do really appreciate a lot of what it does. There's a lot of really good scenes. The Vulture's great. That scene in the car is really, really
Michael
good.
Keaton as the Vulture is definitely high up there for some of the best casting they could have thrown out there.
And you really
But
buy
I can also
into the
understand
character. This is easily the best Spider-Man MCU movie. You really buy
I
into
could
this
also
character.
agree
and his
that,
conflict.
I can see the Spider-Man argument. I could understand that argument wholeheartedly. And I appreciate that No Way Home is at least trying to put Spider-Man on the more traditional Spider-Man route. But I think now it's people are so kind of interconnected to it that it's people just it's forever stained. It's kind of like a scar, like a burn scar.
Yeah.
It's healed, but it's it's still
they
there.
turned Spider-Man into a fangirl attractor.
I think the thing is the reason why I want it to be bottom B is because I do agree that as a movie it's fine, but as a Spider-Man movie it just completely fails.
Yeah.
It completely fails as a Spider-Man movie in a way that Doctor Strange doesn't fail at being a Doctor Strange movie. It succeeds at being both a movie and also a Doctor Strange movie. Avengers Age of Ultron may be a bad
I think it's still better
Ultron
than Age of
movie.
Ultron.
I think the damage that Spider-Man does to Spider-Man is a little nicer than the damage that Age of Ultron did to Ultron.
Yeah, but I also feel like
nicer.
Ultron doesn't really appear in the rest of the MCU, so it feels kind of insulated. The damage, it's kind of it doesn't
they could
cause
pull a reversal.
widespread.
They could
At
do
the
another
same
Ultron
time-
and have it work.
At the same time, though, both kind of have their own rippling effects
Yeah.
in a way. Age of Ultron, the whole Sokovia incident, literally created a chain of events for basically most of the MCU, here on out.
I personally find Ultron as a character more interesting and attached than Spider-Man as a character.
Here's what I will say.
I love Spider-Verse, but that's what really got me into the character. I was never a huge spider nut head.
Yeah. Here's what I will say about Age of Ultron. Here's a positive I will give it is I do like the guy that's playing Ultron. I think his voice is definitely endearing for Ultron. I think people can now associate that kind of voice with Ultron. I think the quippiness of Ultron, if you took all that out, and that scene with him in the laboratory with the doctor is Oh, that is like some actually good stuff. Because I would have liked an Ultron that is both menacing. But I also would kind of like if he was a little bit sadistic.
I'll say this: one of the greatest strengths of the MCU is whoever does the casting, easily.
100%. Whoever's doing the
nail it.
casting,
They nail it every time. Every time.
Okay. Thor Ragnarok.
Strong A.
yeah,
Yeah.
easily the best of the Thor
Easily.
trilogy
Yeah.
before Thor: Love and Thunder.
I will say I don't find anything on Asgard interesting.
No, I
Like, I
agree.
love Hela. I think she's great. I just don't care. It's all on funny 80s retro sci-fi throwback planet. That's what makes this movie really fun.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate
I
it needs
agree.
to be attached to
Top of A.
nostalgia, but yeah.
Top of A is good for me. Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I'd personally
Deadpool 2.
It's a B for me. I'm sorry. It wasn't as good as I remembered. Yes.
Thor Ragnarok is a B.
High B, at least. High B.
Wait,
It wasn't as good as I
Ragnarok is
remembered.
the bad guy?
No, I might actually agree. I might
It's
actually
not as
agree.
good as I
Welcome
remembered.
back.
I remembered when I remembered it. I thought, oh, the music was cool. Oh, this is so awesome. But then I thought about it. I'm like, this is just like a less like awesome version of like Guardians of the Galaxies. I mean, I like it's cool and all, but I wouldn't say it's A. I don't know.
I do think some of the jokes in Thor
honestly, I think I
Ragnarok
agree.
don't really land all that well. But the stuff that lands, like, really lands.
I
Like,
think
it's-
that the
Taika
reason why
Waititi trying to be James Gunn.
the reason why I put this in A personally is just that it was a much needed course correction for Thor.
Or at least low A.
Because
I mean,
I can settle for low A because I feel like the first two Thor movies were so up their own asses that
boy,
like
are they?
And the first one was constantly Dutch tilting, so...
having
But I feel like you can
this-
still really respect what a movie does and still have it be a B tier movie.
Agree! And I
Yeah.
agree. I still think there's, like...
Hence, I
A
give
movie
6
like
out of
this
10s
is
and
still
5 out of
really
10s
well
movies that I
done.
like.
yeah. I'll go bottom A.
Honestly, I would also say high B, but we'll keep it in bottom A to
Deadpool 2.
I did not
Yeah.
like this movie.
Yeah.
I would put it in F.
I think nowadays,
Movie-
after
A.
one, it's just like, it
Movie's
doesn't
so,
do
like-
anything.
Movie's so bland. You don't even need to
It-
watch it to watch the third one. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it was.
I would put it in F, dude.
It was honestly
I hate
really
this
hard to
movie.
rewatch.
I think low D is
I think
like...
it's definitely.
I will say it's probably a little bit more enjoyable than the Thor movies,
what?
but like not by much.
What did I give it?
The
Not by much.
This will
entire
remind me. Oh, that's not accurate.
I'm sad they don't bring back Domino.
There you go.
Why didn't I bring back? Wait, I get why they didn't bring back the other guy, but
the
why not Domino?
entire plot or like the entire inciting incident of this movie becomes like literally nullified by the end. And then they introduce fucking like time traveling
travel.
technology that they end up never actually using in the third movie. So it makes this movie
But then it's like they
completely
acknowledge the
pointless.
time traveling.
But
that
they
he did
acknowledge the
in
fact
third
that the
movie.
second movie exists in the third movie. And in the third movie, they said that they just fucking, like, killed all of the other characters from the second movie, which is fucking ridiculous. I'm gonna be
Wasn't Kate
honest,
there?
Hmm?
Wasn't
They
Cade
did
there? When did they do that? What are you talking about?
When
They didn't
he's talking to
kill
Happy
everybody.
Hogan, he says that, like, the X-Force, like, blew up and they're all dead.
No, yeah, he's talking about.
Well, yeah, because there were other
characters-
members like that actually fucking
No,
died in
he's
this
talking
one.
about the people who died in Deadpool 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
He's not
Misinterpreted
retconning.
the
No,
line.
yeah, he's
Either
not
way,
retconning anything.
it's just like
either
you know.
way. None
he's
of the
like, you know,
developments in this
literally
movie carry
joking
over
that,
to the
you know,
next
No,
movie.
nothing in
And
this movie matters.
And even within its own runtime, it doesn't matter because
the
you
run
have
go?
the fucking death of the girlfriend, and then in the fucking end of the movie,
Yeah,
they
and
just
then they
undo
just
it.
redo it. That was stupid.
Wait, she dies?
Yeah, she dies in the
Yeah.
beginning of the movie, and then they just bring her back. And then she's in the next movie, and they're like, will they, won't they energy, and it's
I also just hate how progressively throughout all of these movies, Deadpool is like written more and more like a fucking 14-year-old,
I agree.
Yeah.
like
I
on
agree.
Wattpad.
we'll get
He
to
was-
we'll
he
get
was
to
like- he was
we'll get to
annoying and
Wolverine later.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my hand off the mouse for this next one and let you guys decide where it's
You
going.
gonna put it in his pants.
Black Panther.
Yeah.
I really like Michael B. Jordan. That's all I'm gonna say. Anything else
I
will be
want
really
to-
biased.
I'd say
I want Michael B. Jordan as Michael
middle,
B.
Jordan.
middle B
One.
tier, middle B tier for me.
Yeah, I actually agree. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Middle of
I thought you were gonna kill me.
I'm
I agree.
I'm gonna be the
Okay.
one with the hot take here and say low B.
No, oh,
It's
mine's
been a hot
like
take, but
Cotter.
we
I
like
was
it
gonna say
anyway.
middle C.
I was gonna say like a very
I
low
was gonna
B.
put it
It's
here,
Like,
but I'll put it like low B.
like,
B is
here's
fine.
Like all
my
the
problem with this movie is
This-
like
This movie is so boring, dude. It is not interesting at all until Killmonger shows up, and then he kills Black Panther, and then I'm immediately uninterested again. It was.
just
this
feels
movie's
like a
hard to get
major-
into.
contrasting difference of Black Panther characters. You
From
know,
Civil War.
like from his appearance in Civil War, which was
Yeah.
like basically perfect on the first go around, but then his own movie is just like kind of whatever, and he gets basically outshined by his fucking villain co-star.
Yeah. Yeah,
Which-
no, if your main character is far less interesting than the villain in the movie,
You've got a problem.
you're doing something wrong,
Yeah.
dude.
You're doing something wrong.
Still not the worst Black Panther movie.
Still not the worst
I'm-
Black Panther movie. Moving on to Infinity War.
I'm gonna
That's
go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna be the one with the pitchforks poked out my neck for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Okay. That gives it away.
Actually, I don't know what I think about it. I'm gonna think about it when we get there. Infinity War here?
Yes, that's good.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Infinity War was a fucking Goliath of a task, and they
Yes.
somehow performed it really well.
With flying cut. I think like really the only big issue I have with this movie is the ending fight scene with the big
Mhm.
like army, because those are never interesting. Those are always so
No.
boring.
But like literally, this
Everything
movie
else. Oh
builds
my God.
tension so well.
Yes,
Everything
dude.
this movie
Characterizes
is the
Thanos
culmination
so
of
well.
everything done.
Yes,
And it
dude.
just coalesces into like a perfect collage.
The fact
It
that like
characterizes
the fact that this movie Infinity War, the fact that this movie like
Oh.
takes what was like kind of sort of building underneath and basically has it explode into one movie. That's crazy.
It-
And
it
worked
characterizes
really well.
Thanos so well. This movie, like it characterizes him incredibly well.
They were locked in.
Now, unfortunately, whether that characterization
That's serious.
sticks in the next movie is
We'll get there.
up
We'll
in the
get
air.
there.
But,
I think
their
I'll
characterization in
explain
this
that more
movie
when
is
we get there.
incredible.
Endgame.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man and the Wasp
I
is
have-
in A.
I forgot about it.
Bottom A.
I want to say top B. And
I agree. Top B for
this,
me.
As this movie's biggest fan, I think top B. I love
Yeah,
it.
it's like
I
it's
actually-
high B, very low A.
I love it for the action. I don't like the characters as much as in the first movie. I straight up just don't care for the villain at all. They wasted Lawrence Fishburne in this movie.
Never forget that Walton Goggins was also in this movie too.
But the action, dude, oh my god, this might be
The
my
action was
favorite-
really fun.
It's
This
like
might
the
be my
action.
favorite
fun
MCU.
movie.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie. It's literally like it. The only reason the reason why people hate this movie so much is just because it came out after Infinity War, and I think that that's kind of absurd.
And they wasted their hate because Captain Marvel is really the one that deserves that.
Yeah.
E tier.
D tier.
Is that really Captain Marvel on the poster? It looks like a plank of wood.
Oh no, that's
And this is an AI picture.
the average reaction.
It looks like those AI pictures.
It does look like an AI picture.
Yep.
This movie is honestly what kind of tarnished things for me.
I definitely think Captain Marvel is like, oh no, this is not a good sign.
I hate saying this because it sounds stupid, but this movie did a lot of damage to the brand for me, just because it introduced so much that it felt like it shouldn't be, like a character being this powerful, yet like
I felt like they shoved it on
sideline.
You know why they call it a cockpit, right? You're a woman. Like it doesn't work in this movie at all. Especially considering that this entire franchise
extremely on the nose.
It's super on the nose. It's saying nothing at the end of the day, and it's literally just saying, "Yeah, you go, girl." At the end of the day, and like they realize that this brand, this Marvel brand, is mostly consumed by fat, sweaty man nerds. Do you really think this message is gonna be heard? But you know what I mean, though. Like the JJs.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is the franchise.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this is what this franchise is made for. This not only does this message not work in the context of its own movie, but it doesn't work to the audience that it's trying to preach to.
I don't think it works well, and it's majority of the reason why it doesn't work is because Brie Larson is a fucking like
no. Like I said earlier, this series has fantastic casting. They picked the absolute biggest piece of shit to play the biggest piece of shit character. Perfect casting.
You know what? Yeah, I can see that.
I can't see anybody else making Captain Marvel as hateable as she did. And it's perfect for her character. I don't know. It worked in an odd way. It worked. The two pits of hell combined together to make.
And then we have
Endgame.
I need to say my opinion.
Sorry. Say your opinion.
Okay, no, keep it there. I agree with this here.
Okay.
Because it kind of leads to Endgame.
No, say your Captain Marvel opinion.
Captain Marvel. All right. So I do agree. It feels like kind of forced. The guys that wrote it did not know how to write a girl power movie, so it just kind of feels like forced. Like they didn't get the perspective of actual like feminists or actual like people that have dealt with like similar problems. Wait, who wrote this? Who wrote?
A woman director.
Okay.
Oh, and a man director.
Okay.
Genius. Okay, I had two women writing it.
Alright, I had two women.
Well, then that makes it even harder to defend.
I guess, yeah. But
I forgot.
I will say it did feel forced, and
I forgot they forced
and when she was like
her
in
friendship
Endgame
with Nick Fury. That sucked.
Oh yeah, they did.
That sucked.
This movie, it just feels like an OC. Like an OC got put into the story, and like it didn't feel natural. Like especially in Endgame, where she just like comes in and like kills Thanos. I don't remember if she was even. I don't even remember if she was even in Infinity War.
No.
I just remember she was in Endgame.
Post credit.
Oh my god!
No. It was in the post credit scene for Captain Marvel is when she showed up. No, yeah, you saw her emblem in Infinity War.
Yeah, you saw her emblem in Infinity War.
She just feels like shoved in.
I'm gonna say
Nick Fury
like didn't know how to introduce her or write her.
I can't believe Nick Fury didn't think that any other threat to the planet was nearly as big to warrant calling Captain Marvel. Like, you really don't think the Sokovia incident was big enough to call Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
You're pulling out.
Oh
all
yeah,
the
that
stops
retcon
into
too.
Fury.
What was the point of like forming the Avengers?
Aliens was
she was right
invading
there.
the Earth.
Yeah.
A literal god
Literal god
was invading the Earth.
You didn't think to call your
in
bestie
2012.
Westie, apparently. Yeah, fuck off.
But also, Endgame.
All right, Endgame. Oh, sorry, Luna. Say.
I might have.
Finish.
I might have the.
Also, it kind of sucks how they kind of just wasted a Captain Marvel like this because I watched Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the animated series, and it's like they just treated her so much cooler. She's like a badass in that series, and it's like in here they don't really know how to write her.
Damn.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
All right, Nick is
I
about to
might
say
have
something
the
extremely
pitchforks
egregious
at my
about
hand.
Endgame.
This movie sucks.
Avengers
F tier.
Endgame would be like a bottom B tier movie for me.
Okay. What about you, Jacob?
I stay strong in like an A tier, like middle of the ground A tier.
Okay.
I think as like a conclusion movie, I think it still does
Ooh.
pretty well.
Ooh,
But
as a conclusion. Ooh, that ending. Ooh. But it's hard to revisit.
but it's hard to
just
revisit.
is.
It's
was-
literally only good on the first watch, but after a while, it kind of degrades.
Yeah.
I will tell you exactly why
the No Way Home
I
effect.
dislike this movie so much.
All right.
It
Oh, good dramatic
completely
timing.
misunderstands. It completely misunderstands and mischaracterizes Thanos, which is actually incredibly funny because they just spent the entire last Avengers movie building up his character. The fact that Thanos is like his whole thing in Avengers Infinity War was that he wasn't trying to kill like more people than he had to. It was to the point where many people that would have been killed like were safe because he only was killing people if he absolutely needed to. The Guardians of the Galaxy showed up to try to stop him from taking the Reality Stone, and instead of permanently wiping them from existence, he uses the Reality Stone to to like, you know, do little funny things with their bodies, and then as soon as he leaves, they're put back together because that's not his goal. But in this movie,
He's just like, oh,
they changed that the entire thing.
clean.
He's like, oh, you know what? I see that people are ungrateful. This is going to change my entire philosophy in 2 minutes, and I'm going to say, now I want to destroy everything and clean, which was never his goal.
I have a similar argument about Thanos. This is not the same Thanos, and
that's
not
the whole
but
point.
that's not
But
that's not a good thing. Like I'll say that the reason that he isn't considering like, oh, we have to consider life sacred, blah blah blah, is because this is an earlier Thanos, 5 years or whoever.
This is an earlier Thanos who's basically worn torn.
But that means that he doesn't carry any of the dramatic weight that Infinity War Thanos carried, because this isn't the same character.
Now,
and
if it was Infinity War,
is not. That's why this movie really should have been. This should have gotten one more rewrite, in a way that made the final boss, Thanos, the Infinity War Thanos, because then it would have been far more satisfying. But that scene isn't.
The thing is,
the scene isn't about stopping Thanos. Thanos has already achieved. Honestly, Thanos achieved what he wanted, and then died.
But the thing is, right?
It wasn't a. I agree with your dissertation on Thanos and how it's far weaker, but the movie isn't about Thanos at that point.
Right. But I think it completely kind of ruins like any investment that you'd have in seeing these Avengers destroy Thanos, because this, like, if we're saying that this isn't the same Thanos, which I still have my reservations about, because like, when exactly are we going to say in the Thanos timeline he developed these values? I always kind of interpreted it as he saw like the violence of like war-torn planet, and because he saw the violence, he developed those values.
Yeah.
Not like, and it wasn't something that happened after for like an ambiguous reason.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like, just in terms of what this movie says about the character that they built up since the last movie, it completely fumbles the bag, and it makes it so that any victory over this version of Thanos is severely diminished.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
But in that moment, it wasn't about stopping Thanos. It really was about shit. I mean, they did finish the day. I guess it was literally about stopping Thanos in the context of the scene, but The subtext was all of these characters are finally together. Finally
Mhm.
together. And that's why the scene works in general. Like, if it was about, we gotta stop this guy once and for all, then, like, yeah, no, that falls flat. But it wasn't really about that. So that argument doesn't really... It doesn't hit me in the same way that it would hit you.
I will say real quick that I think this movie sticks a lot more with me because now, with the current state of the MCU, this movie had another big impact on like a basically butterfly chain of effects from like here on out. That while they haven't really explored all that well, the stuff that they have touched on is like it's clear that this is a big impact of a movie still. And it's like, I mean, shit, the time jump from going from basically literally mere days after Infinity War to 5 years into the far future. That's honestly a bold move, but it's also a bold move I respect immensely.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I would honestly put it like if we're thinking like in this tier list, I would put it like at least bottom A. I don't think middle A is appropriate, but I mean, if we want to keep it there, that's fine.
What do you guys think? Because I'm fine with doing that.
I still say low A, but not like bottom A, personally.
Luna.
I say B.
Damn, okay. Bottom A.
I agree.
okay.
Alright, moving on.
Don't suck my fucking nuts.
Alright,
from
out of
home.
here. Out of here. No, okay, it's not that bad.
You know, it's
I
not that
easily
bad.
like it
It's
more
not
than
that bad, but it's
these.
not
I genuinely think B. I genuinely think B. I'm sorry.
What?
I said I genuinely think B.
B?
For Endgame.
For Far From Home?
For Endgame.
Oh, for Endgame?
No, for Endgame.
Are we
yeah.
still on Endgame? I thought we were doing here
No,
because I would say
no,
here.
she
Jacob
was-
says around here, and then no, you guys say in B. So I'm saying like,
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
yeah, I'm
I
leaving
think the
high
Far
A.
From
Or-
Home
or
is like it's
bottom A.
not that bad.
No, we're talking about Far
But
From
I
Home.
think like bottom
of D.
C,
Okay.
high D is like
Okay, top of D.
I think high D is good. Top
Yeah,
of
top-
D
top
is
of
good.
D.
And top of
I-
B. That's also where I've been. Hey,
This movie,
hate-
this movie
I
is not
really-
good.
I wish that this movie didn't use Mysterio. I hate that Mysterio's one MCU appearance was in this piece of shit film that doesn't even really understand his character.
His casting's great, but
I know it's not his fault, or I know it's not this movie's fault, but the fact that Multiverse of Madness made it so that Mysterio just guessed a random number and it actually happened to be the number that was designated to the MCU is crazy.
should have
Um,
made it the one they already announced it as. Why are they making it the comics universe?
It's absurd.
I don't think
And
that's canon.
No,
I
it
don't
is.
I don't like that everything in
I don't
these
consider it
Spider-Man movies. I hate that they're all fucking Stark. I hate it so much because
this movie had the
Mysterio
golden
can't even
opportunity to
be
break himself away from
interesting.
it, and they didn't.
Mysterio can't even
I
be
really
interesting.
think, like,
a
that
master illusionist like he is in the comics. He can't make
Yeah.
his own effects because he has to rely so heavily on Stark tech.
And-
Because everything in these fucking movies has to tie back to Tony fucking Stark.
This movie had the golden opportunity to actually break away from Stark, but then the way that Peter breaks away from Stark is by using Stark's technology
Stark
to
tech.
make a
It's like,
suit.
okay.
Are you kidding me? This movie has the same issue that I have with Black Panther, and that's that the main character is being strung along and is so thoroughly uninteresting. Like I honestly really liked Peter in Homecoming. He was really endearing. I did not like this twerp in this movie because he was just sitting around the entire time. Oh, what are you gonna do? Nothing.
Hate it.
Okay. Then why am I watching this movie? Black Widow's F.
Yeah, thank you.
Actually,
All right, I don't want to.
Bakudo's there. No.
Yeah, okay, I settle for that. All right, we're moving on. I don't want to talk about this movie
We're
anymore.
not talking about. Okay, Shang-Chi.
I am the biggest fucking hater of that movie with a passion, and I don't like talking about it. Fuck that movie. Moving on.
Shang-Chi.
I haven't seen it.
This movie's
right below Doctor Strange.
I think a middle B is
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
I think for newer MCU stuff, I think this is honestly another pretty good introduction for like a character that not many people really have heard of.
It might have been top of B, but it has Aquafina in it, so like morally, I can't put it any higher.
Yeah, ooh, F.
Wow, instantly putting it in.
I hate Aquafina. She's like.
See, I don't think Aquafina was this bad in the movie.
She wasn't that
like,
bad in this
she was
movie, but
cast
I
well.
still
She's a little more
like her
Aquafina.
presence
She's
taints it.
cursed as a
It's still
person.
Aquafina.
Yeah.
But I
think
think
this movie worked really, really well when it was about the conflict between Shang-Chi and the dad, and then the dad dies. And then I immediately stopped
it's just like,
caring.
oh, CGI fight incoming.
At least
Yep.
the dad dies in the last like 20 minutes, so it's not like it
And not like
tarnishes the
halfway
movie.
through, so it's just like it
So it's still really
impact.
interesting and really fun.
Yeah.
The opening
And I
action
like that it's
scene
not
is
really
incredible. The
I think-
bus the action scene on the bus is
The action
one of
stuff
the
in this
MCU's
movie,
best.
yeah, the action in this movie really bumps it up a good.
The one where they're hanging off the building is really good. Oh, speaking of
Mhm.
really good, hold on, I got there we go.
Here's what I will say real quick is that I have a little bit of hope with the new Spider-Man movie because the same director that worked on Shang-Chi is working on that movie, and the fight stuff that he like directed was pretty good. I will admit
Okay.
that, like 100% by a long shot.
We'll
Well, I'm
have to
still
see if they can
extremely nervous.
translate the spider style into. I still don't think that
More
they've
hand-to-hand
really.
stuff.
I still don't think they've really nailed Spider-Man in live action, like combat. I think Raimi was the closest to making it fun and interesting, but nah, Spider-Verse wins any day of the week.
Mhm.
All right, are we comfy cozy
Eternals?
with Shang-Chi?
Yeah, I'm good with
I'm
that.
comfy cozy.
Okay, cool. Actually,
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
No, there you go.
I think it was fine where it was. Like,
I've never seen it. I'm gonna be honest.
Eternals is like
I think there are two characters that I find interesting. Visually, it's not the worst. Black Widow has
Harry
nothing.
Styles is in the movie.
Oh, okay. No, I'm kidding.
wait, what?
I said Harry
What?
Styles was in the movie.
Oh yeah, that's right, he was. And he appeared in the post-credit scene.
And
it's like, it
in
doesn't
this
really have
movie,
much of
they're
an
introducing
impact.
Harry Styles into the MCU. That's automatically a penalizing thing.
I think where the problem lies with this movie is
This
like they're introducing so many characters to us that we know nothing about,
and don't care
and they
about
expect
it
us
all.
to give a shit about them when they kill them off. But it's
It
like we
doesn't
don't.
feel like it doesn't
Yeah.
feel like an MCU movie.
It doesn't
No.
make an impact, and it
It
doesn't
doesn't.
like have any big
Guardians
impact.
Guardians introduced a ton of characters, but it took its time and made you actually care about what they were doing before.
And it's like at least it's a
dropping them all
smaller
together.
cast of characters. Eternal says, "Fuck that, we're gonna double that."
Yeah.
It really doesn't
We
feel
got
like an
10
MCU movie in a bad way.
Here's what I will say is
I just-
oh,
It has the
feel
first
like-
sex scene, and it is the most awkward thing in the MCU.
here's what I will say is
Oh my god!
it's not a positive, and it's not a positive, but it's a more negative. I hate the fucking guy that got casted to play what's his fucking name, the Indian guy. I really don't like him. He pisses me off. He pisses me off a lot.
Aubrey,
I don't
charge your
remember the
phone.
actor's name, but
Aubrey,
just something about
Yes,
him.
master.
Aubrey,
Yes.
charge your phone.
What percentage is it at?
You're at
It's at
5%.
7. That's
No,
no.
it said,
that's-
no.
it's
My
just
watch,
less than-
my watch says you're at 5%.
Oh my gosh, I'm charging it now.
Yeah, go charge.
Here's
your
what
phone.
I'm gonna say. The guy that plays that's supposed to be the comedic relief pisses me off so much because he just doesn't shut the fuck up. He doesn't shut the fuck up in the slightest, and it pisses me off so
I
goddamn
remember who
much.
you're talking about now.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't give a shit about you. Shut the fuck up for 5 minutes. Your cameraman is somehow more funnier than you are. Shut up.
That's what I'm gonna say. Like, I feel like the cast overall in Eternals is like, ugh. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And it's like, you got some big names in the cast. You got big names in the cast.
Didn't they get
What
Angelina
the fuck are
Jolie?
you doing? Angelina Jolie!
God damn, y'all
Salma
wasted
Hayek!
Angelina Jolie. That's amazing.
I'll
Alright.
even fucking say Barry Keoghan, even though it's like he's a bit of a
Wow,
cheater.
the first sex scene in the MCU and it's not with Angelina Jolie. Crazy. Yeah, no, this
Anyway,
movie has a major like pacing issue, and even when this movie came out, 2021.
Here's a
even
positive
15-year-old
I
me
will
was
say
like,
about.
hell no.
Here's a positive I will say about the movie is the actress that plays the speedster. I don't mind her. I don't mind her in the slightest, even if her character was very nothing. It's like even though she doesn't really have much to
When
do.
your compliments have to extend to the realm of I didn't really hate this.
It's like she's the one character I really tolerate. Also, fun fact, DJ.
Yo.
The black guy, I can't remember his name because his names are fucking
call him that
forgettable. But the black guy with the beard,
Yes, I know
is
who you're
played
talking
by
about, the, like,
the same
machines
guy that
guy.
yeah, Brian Tyree Henry. That's Megatron
Yeah,
in Transformers 1 and Bullet Train.
Yeah, that's
But he
like,
also plays Spider-Man's dad in
oh my god, he's Davis.
Yep, there you go.
Crazy. I forgot.
We
He
should.
also is in a clip that I like die laughing
He's
at
in
every
Class of
time from a show
09.
he's in.
Crazy.
Oh my god, I can't remember what the fucking
name is
meme was. But it's like, oh yeah,
Oh, it's so good. Sorry. There's Angelina Jolie.
okay, wait, DJ, go back. Look, Bill Skarsgård is in the fucking movie. You don't remember that though, because he plays a fucking forgettable ass villain that has nothing to do that goes
I
nowhere.
remember that.
Oh, but here's
wasted Bill Skarsgård. God damn it.
they wasted Bill Skarsgård.
God damn
Dude,
it.
how do you waste Bill Skarsgård, man?
Dude, what the heck?
Wow, John
How?
Wick had the better character. Crazy.
Okay. Anyway,
Far From Home.
No Way Home.
Or No Way Home.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think most years. I think
I-
it's like it just doesn't hold up on
No.
rewatching.
I say
You can't really
I see.
rewatch the movie.
Yeah.
There's nothing interesting to come back to now because it's like, and they spoiled everything in the trailer. Can you imagine if they didn't spoil any of that in the trailer? If they didn't put any of it? If you just go into it thinking it's gonna be about like Spider-Man versus Doctor Strange, which that was done and over away with way too quickly. If you like go into it thinking it's just gonna be about peak song's over, I gotta turn it down. Like going into that just thinking is it gonna be about that, and then that's the claw of
It's like, oh shit,
John
that's
Mulaney.
dark.
Not John Mulaney, whatever his name is. Alfred Mulaney. Yeah.
Alfred Molina.
Molina. I get their names confused. I don't know.
Completely mid movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember it working a
don't-
lot better for me, but like going back to it, I just
And then
I
Mr.
don't-
Yellow, and then
I don't
Mr.
like
Yellowbird
that.
from Rio is fucking Electro.
I don't like the fact that the entire conflict happens because Peter Parker
know the
is
voice
too
now.
stupid to call a college admissions office and talk to them. I understand that that's supposed to be the joke, but it's not very funny.
No.
It's kind of dumb.
It's not very funny when the entire multiverse like tinges on it, and then it like has ripple effects throughout the rest of the MCU.
You know,
It's-
like I'm glad that we're having Peter Parker cause the fucking almost near death of the
the
universe.
nuke
That's
of the
great.
multiverse. Great job.
Yeah, I don't
Also,
want to talk about this movie anymore.
everybody who knows he's Spider-Man, everybody, all of
Yeah,
them,
there's no
and
way
it just so
that's true.
happened to be the ones that we know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Jacob, are you here? Just muted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Multiverse
Multiverse of
Madness.
Madness. I am
Okay.
gonna say
D tier.
that
Low C.
it's not boring.
It's not boring,
It's
but
not
it's not
boring.
good either.
And I will gladly take it over at. Well, I don't remember the Hulk at all, so I don't really know that one. But I'll gladly take it over all of these because they're just kind of. I'm fine with putting it bottom C though. I
think what really
don't
pisses
have
me
it
off
in
about
me to
this
put it in
is
D.
Hold on, can I go ahead real quick with something?
No, you cannot.
Well, fuck you anyway, CP. I'm going to. So,
Whoa.
what I will say about this fucking movie that pisses me off the most is that the switch from WandaVision to this movie is like what pisses me off about it, because the writers of this movie acknowledge that they never watched WandaVision even before it released on Disney Plus, so they have no knowledge of what happened. So the switch from Wanda going to a villain in the movies is like, for a moviegoer, is like, it's what pisses me off. Like, how do you?
They completely ruined her character.
They ruined her character, and it's like, it's not that Wanda being a villain couldn't be,
No, it's just that it needed to be built up, and it couldn't.
The way they went about it is what pisses me off the most.
Hold up, I think once I don't know if I've told you all what this movie was supposed to be, but I feel like if I do,
this movie was supposed to be a porn film.
You'll understand why I want this in D so bad, because what we could have had was so good. This movie was originally supposed to be about Doctor Strange and Wanda fighting against Nightmare. And in that version of the movie, the ending was supposed to be Wanda getting, like, turning evil and getting, like she was supposed to turn evil at the end of the movie so that they could deal with her in a later movie. That was the whole point. This movie was supposed to be a bridge between WandaVision and the movie where Wanda turns evil, and instead, because the writer decided to be a fucking jackass and hoard that plot of Wanda being evil to himself, they made it so that this movie was where Wanda was evil, which makes it so that there's a fucking weird disconnect between WandaVision and this movie, because they were never supposed to happen sequentially.
And you want to know the fucked up? You want to know what pisses me off even more about that knowledge is Nightmare was supposed to be played by, honestly, a pretty good casting choice, David fucking Tennant. David fucking Tennant would have played this guy, and
oh my!
Here's the thing: he has the acting chops to pull it off. He has the acting chops to pull it off.
Yeah, that's
if you've seen any of his monologues in Doctor Who, where he's like
Sonic,
being
a complete
maniac, he plays it so well, and he could have done such a perfect job in a role like that as a villain.
So just knowing
and
what this movie could have been, I can't in good conscience put it in C tier. It has to be in D tier for me. Just because of what it ended up being versus what it could have been.
Oh, the multiverse stuff though in this movie
I find this movie too juicy. I don't know. It's so much fun in every way.
It's like some of the stuff they do is fun.
It's really fun in ways that it intends on and doesn't intend on. Like, there are some really good, really fun, not really good, but really fun scenes in this movie. But the writing sucks. It is like the shakiest. It is like a bouncy house on the shakiest foundation. Like, I'm having so much fun in this, but it's snapping. It's breaking at the seams, dude. I will never, in good faith, call this a good movie, but it is juicy.
I think that point stands even stronger when you get to the universe they get stuck in for a good chunk of the movie. Oh my god!
For a movie called In the Multiverse of Madness, they go to two different versions of New York.
It's like, oh wow,
that is so boring.
Like, give us a fucking MCU movie set in Florida, for God's sakes! Like, come on, that'd be so much more cool.
Yeah. No, this movie has a ton of promise. looking
at
the
same time, I get why they can't really go to Florida,
is,
but at the same time, like, come on.
I mean, it's
Really?
filmed in Georgia, so. But looking at it for what it is,
Oh,
I'm not gonna say you can appreciate it, but it is juicy, dude. It is insane. It is madness.
it's like it lives up to its name.
I can't say I appreciate it, but it's endearing. It draws me in. It's a car crash, dude. But it sucks. It's so bad. It's terrible. I want to keep it bottom C. What do you guys think?
I can
honestly
accept
wanna
bottom
move it, I want to
C.
move it to D.
Luna.
But that's
Actually, high D, high D.
High D.
high D.
I was so disappointed. I was so hyped for this movie, and I was disappointed
High D.
Jacob.
when I watched it.
I'm standing at low C. I'm
Aubrey.
standing at low C.
This is a really tricky one. This is a really.
Here's something I
I
can
will
convince
say-
you
okay,
with, Aubrey.
This is
Aubrey, they don't kiss.
I will say
Oh.
this, but this is easily my favorite Wanda design like ever.
Oh yeah, bud.
It is the best Wanda design.
Oh my gosh, you're
And
pandering to me, and it's
I
working.
was gonna buy the Marvel Rivals skin of her, but I hate playing as Wanda in Marvel Rivals, so I didn't. But this is easily my favorite design.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Gallon's lost.
Yeah,
I will say, because it's DJ's birthday, I'll let him decide.
it's not my birthday.
It's the narrative I have for myself
Okay,
right now. So you can
alright,
decide.
bottoms. You're not making this any easier. Bottom C, Thor: Love and Thunder.
I didn't see it, so I think it should be a D.
This movie's just kind of nothing.
It's
Yeah.
very nothing.
They brought back Jane Foster just to kill her off, anyways.
And it's like I like that, they were at least touching upon the storyline that, she gets the Thor, powers from. Because it's like, that's the whole, reason she gets the powers to begin with. It's an actual storyline where she is actually dying from cancer, and the powers of Thor prolong that a good amount. But then it's like they wasted for this fucking movie. So it's like, okay.
I will say there are some good jokes in it.
Anyways, back onto the negatives.
Alright, Wakanda
hold on,
Forever. Alright.
Hold on, real quick. One more
Yay!
negative for Thor: Love and Thunder, and I think this is something everyone can agree upon: the waste of Christian Bale.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna mention.
Yeah.
The waste of Christian Bale.
I
I
love
forgot he's in the
Christian
movie.
Sexy, yeah.
Honestly, yeah, the God Butcher is the last thing I think of when I think of this movie. I just think of
It's like-
I just think of Thor getting stripped butt booty naked in front of Zeus.
in front of Russell Crowe.
Oh, this movie
Best
was
tier.
Greek mythology. I love Greek mythology.
And they do nothing with it. They say hi to Zeus and that's it.
Oh, why do I feel like I'm gonna be the
And
one?
then have
with
a
the
post-credits with
review on
Hercules.
Black Panther 2.
Bottom D. Oh, Multiverse of Madness had easily the worst post-credit scene.
Easily.
I
They
don't
have the
agree.
two worst post credits.
Oh yeah, not just one, but two.
Wait, two.
The only reason I like
What
it
again?
a little bit, like a tiny bit,
It is so
is Bruce
funny.
Campbell basically saying you can leave.
It's
over.
I love the pacing. I love the pacing of the first post-credit scene because of how breakneck it is. It's so funny. All right.
I
Thor:
feel
Love
like
and Thunder,
I
bottom
feel like
D.
I've got opposing takes here. I feel like I'm gonna have some opposing takes
I
here.
don't know.
from
I
here
feel
on
like I
out.
would put it like I don't know. I like it more than Deadpool 2.
I do like it more than Deadpool 2.
Yeah, just a little bit more.
Ooh, I like it
Cool.
more than Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
actually, that's
that's
fair.
fine.
But
Yeah, we
I
can
think
put it there.
I think I like Far From Home more, and I don't like Far From Home. So
Yeah, that's fine. We can leave it there.
I don't know.
Wakanda Forever. I have a hot take.
Yes! Yes! Thank you!
I like Shuri as a character more than T'Challa as a character. That being said, I have never hated a character in the MCU more than Namor. I don't like that guy. This entire movie
Yeah,
could
he's
have been
a good
avoided.
cock.
if they just had a conversation and shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
In the comics, Namor was never really likable to begin with, and I kind of like that he's just a bit of a. I get that he's trying to protect his nation, but he's
That's
also
fair.
still liberal.
But it made the movie hard to watch for me.
I think if you're disliking the character, then I think the actor's kind of doing a good job.
That's a good point.
I think this movie is a middle C, personally.
Okay.
I don't like the way it tries to balance its themes of grief with its overall storyline. I think that one of those is vastly more interesting than the other. And I think that the overall storyline is so incredibly boring to me that I really just I really can't stand it. I hate the fact that this movie was contractually obligated to push forward in the MCU without really being able to breathe, it feels. Yeah. Because the whole conflict of this movie is so integrally entwined with what happens in the first movie, and you can see exactly how this movie was supposed to play out if T'Challa was still alive. If Chadwick Boseman was still alive, that it feels like the rewrites just weren't hitting, you could have easily written some sort of narrative that had this greater plot that still put those themes of grief into it, But because it feels like two different movies mashed together, it kind of doesn't work for me.
I think that's
because whenever Namor shows up, the themes of grief are over and we're back to the normal MCU slop.
That's why I hated Namor. Oh my god, you're making a lot of things make sense to. I never understood my feelings on this movie. I never knew if I liked it or not, honestly. And I think that's exactly why, because it's honestly torn between two different movies that with two different visions. I don't like.
I think it's you
Iron
have
Man Jr. Kill that character. I don't like her. She's annoying. Just kill her. I don't care.
Here's what I will say is that I still think that this movie, with Ryan Coogler at the helm, is still trying to make a movie while trying to pay, honor to Chadwick. I like that stuff. I love the grief stuff in this movie 100% all the way through. But it's you can tell the studio execs are really pushing through with this movie by bringing in Ironheart and all the suits for the what's her name, and the other one, the two nanotech. I don't like that stuff, but it's I think that for the stuff that Ryan Coogler was trying to integrate, that he was still pulling that off 100% well. But the studio meddling clearly interfered with it from being really high up there. But I think as a movie that's trying to pay homage and tread carefully on Chadwick's character, I think that this movie still holds up well. But it's definitely not great. It's still a good watch. I think for background noise, I put it on, and it gets the job done perfectly. I just can't really settle on watching in full with my attention.
Well, because what I'm saying is that yeah, there's that limitation of the executives, and I get that, but they really should have worked harder to make these two different strands become more coherent. Namor's story, the story of the movie, should have been more entwined with the themes of grief, instead of being a completely separate thing, because it feels like
there are like literally scenes in this movie where you will go from having a serious and heartfelt conversation at the side of a lake about people dying, and then Namor will show up and one of the characters will make a quip about the fact that he has wings on his feet. And it's like, it doesn't work.
Really
tonally, it's so inconsistent.
Scene, though, at least like in the first introduction of him, it wasn't really a quip. It was just kind of like a passing comment, more or less. But I can also understand what you're trying to say.
It completely breaks the tone. It's like tonal whiplash, and it feels like, you know, there's a saying that I really like, you know, really like, and it's that like, an average artist will, use a limitation as an excuse. A great artist will use a limitation to make better art. Ooh. And I feel like this would have been better if they used that limitation of still having to continue the story while making this movie about grief to really tie Namor and his whole society's story to that kind of concept, as opposed to keeping them two completely separate things. Mm-hmm. I feel like that would have made it a lot better.
This movie has an honestly pretty good visual style, if I remember correctly. But I mean that goes for. Mm-hmm. Ooh, actually, never mind. I was gonna say that goes for both Black Panthers, but I don't really care for the first Black Panther's visual style.
I still think that Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, for me at least, beats out the original Black Panther in terms of having at least something more to it.
It's easily more interesting.
Easily more so.
I think that there should be a Black Panther movie that is entirely set in Wakanda, because we still really don't know goddamn anything about Wakanda other than
what I will also say is that
they have rhinos and they have all this like whatever, like spears and stuff, but they have technology that can like take down civilizations and whatever. It's like, why don't you just invest in like actual weapons instead of just spears? It doesn't make sense.
The first two acts of Wakanda Forever are genuinely what's keeping it from being below the first Black Panther. The third act is a little more loose in there.
Dude, that scene with the mom. There's a scene of somebody getting fired in this movie, and I don't remember it specifically.
Yep, you know exactly the one.
That has some of the best acting.
That was the scene that Angela Bassett got her Oscar, you know.
Oh, absolutely. I can see why. That scene has some of the best acting in the entire MCU.
And she still got beaten out by Jamie Lee Curtis and Everything Everywhere. I still disagree with. I still disagree with that.
Everything Everywhere is a baller-ass movie, but why are we...
It should have been Stephanie Sue. They were both nominated, but they fucking picked Jamie Lee Curtis instead of Stephanie Sue.
Jamie Lee Curtis has enough, dog. Stephanie Sue, this is like her big... Whatever, it's fine. Anything more to say about Wakanda Forever? Luna, any thoughts?
I haven't seen it.
Well, Aubrey, this movie does not have Michael B. Jordan in it, so...
Actually, no, that's a lie. Yes, it does.
Oh, yes, it does. Yes, it does. JK, I forgot.
But he's more in the first movie than he is in the second.
I'm gonna...
Any naked scenes?
No.
I mean, he's a little shirtless.
Not as far as I remember.
He's not shirtless in that movie. He's shirtless in the first one, though.
I hate this cover art, dude. Why did they just choose the box art
for it? Put that in F tier. DJ, put it in F tier.
Yeah. Don't touch it.
There we go.
Honestly, I would stay with top of C, but if you guys want to put it there, it's fine.
Do we want to move Black Panther lower then?
I personally would put it below. I would put it high C, like the drink.
High C. DJ doesn't know what that is.
I know what high C is.
No, he doesn't, because he looked it up earlier because he didn't know what it was.
Wakanda Forever still sits extremely high.
Are you guys fine with
Yes,
I'm fine.
Black Panther lower? Okay.
Bottom of the whole list.
This movie's just not interesting to talk about.
Yeah.
Alright, you say bottom
of
the entire
list.
Literally bottom of the entire tier list. This is the worst MCU movie in my opinion.
I do not agree.
I saw some
I
stuff.
gotta say,
solid-
I'm gonna
no,
say with
solid
DJ
there.
here. It's like it's so not the worst movie by a long shot.
No.
I think there is much worse than Quantum Mania.
If you
No,
take
But
out,
I
if
think
you
there's a
take
lot
out all
of
the
stuff
fun
that
scenes,
bogs it down for me.
Ooh, yeah, there
Quantumania
is.
fundamentally is fundamentally flawed as a
Yeah.
movie.
But so is all of
because
these.
Taking, I disagree. I think that Quantumania is fundamentally flawed in a way that these other movies aren't. I feel like the whole this whole movie was resulted from a fucking hubris. The idea that these Ant-Man movies were like, oh, we could use these to tell like bigger stories, like the more important stories, like getting too big for your britches, and it absolutely did not pay off because Ant-Man and these characters were so good in their other movies because they were fucking
Smaller
comedic
scale.
little romps. Like
Yeah.
that's the whole appeal
Like
of the character.
the worst parts of The Wasp were the parts where they took like the villains seriously and make them sympathetic, and so I really
Exactly.
just don't care. And that's
The thing about
basically all
Quantumania
of
that really
Quantumania.
sucks is that the entire cast has become so venomous towards Paul Rudd's Ant-Man. Everyone in this movie absolutely hates him
Yeah.
for no reason.
No real reason.
And they each and this movie has the monumental task of introducing Kang to the movie-going audience that does
And it's
not
like,
have Disney
why-
Plus
Which
and
they're
does it
dropping
really
anyways.
fucking poorly, because this Kang is so incredibly boring that he literally doesn't what am I supposed to get from him? What am I supposed to feel when I watch this movie and see Kang? Nothing. I feel nothing. I see Jonathan Majors giving a performance and I shrug.
Yeah.
See, I'm really gonna have to disagree. I think that Jonathan Majors as Kang could have been good because Jonathan Majors is genuinely a good actor. I liked
then
him
he
as
abused
he
his
He
wife.
was good in Loki,
Loki.
season 1.
And it's like I think he could have done much better if he had much more material to work with.
Do you
Like
think his
it just
acting
feels like
is gonna
that's-
pay off in court?
That's the problem with this movie, though. That's the problem with this movie is that it doesn't give him that material. The Kang in this movie is so boring and so he's a charisma vacuum. That's how bad he is.
Honestly, it's still, I don't know. It's still harder.
I don't
for
know
me
why.
to,
I don't know why that court joke got me.
It's still harder for me to want to go back to any of these movies, and it might just be because it's Paul Rudd, and I love Paul Rudd.
No, I literally leaving the theater after watching Quantumania. I was the most enraged that I think I'd ever been after leaving a movie theater. Like I was incensed. You could probably look up my Letterboxd review.
What is it? What is
I have
it?
the whole thing there. Like
Come on, load.
I was
Yeah, this is you.
I was very upset. My Letterboxd review
3DS?
is fucking
Oh.
long. It was comparable to my Blue Beetle review, which if you know that's not a good thing
Where's that
for the
Sonic one?
movie.
Yeah, this is Nick.
Where is it?
So what if you can see the dark inside of me?
No, this is Nick.
No. Go back to that one, DJ. Click on the bottom middle one right there. That's Nick.
Well, then how did he type his review?
That's him typing his review.
No, I completely agree with everything that you've said. I don't know. The mental block in my brain that's keeping me from watching any of these movies is just not there for Quantumania, and I can't tell you why.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray sucked in this movie, dude. That was
Yeah, no, he
embarrassing.
I just really would. I don't know. This one was my least favorite one.
The action was pretty terrible. Bill Murray was pretty terrible. All of the actors except for Paul Rudd were pretty terrible.
Just for the record, they got back the villain from the first movie, shrunk him down, and made him MODOK.
They made him MODOK. They made him MODOK, dude.
And then he stops being evil because Cassie told him
Cassie
to stop
says
being a
stop
dick.
being a dick, and he's like, "Oh."
I
okay.
fucking hated Cassie
there
in
you
this
go.
movie.
It's because
I hate
there,
Cassie in
no,
this
there we
movie,
go.
too.
That's why this movie's
And
good.
it's partially
it has
because her actress is
stature.
really boring
It's
and
'cause it-
not good at all.
It's because it has stature, and I have stature in Mude, so I think we should keep Ant-Man and D.
Here's the thing: I don't think Stature is a bad character. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the actress,
Dude, MC
for some reason, just felt
Jazz,
kind of
dude.
half-assed
Yeah.
in this movie.
Just stop being
Like-
a dick.
Not being a dick. And Catherine Newton is a good actress.
Yeah.
I genuinely think she is a good actress. There's a movie called don't make fun of me for this when I say the title of this movie, but it's called Freaky. And
What
Of course, Jacob.
What
watched that
happens in
movie.
the movie, huh?
so Freaky is
What
it's like a horror fair. It's like a horror version of Freaky Friday, where Catherine Newton's character switches bodies with the local serial killer, who is played by Vince Vaughn.
I'm surprised looking up Freaky it gives us the actual movie and not.
Wait, I think
Yeah,
I
there it
heard
is.
of this movie before.
And it's like this
yeah.
movie.
Is
Here's
this?
the thing: this movie is actually
you watched
really
this?
fun. I actually really like this movie
Yeah, this
a
movie.
lot.
Yeah, this movie.
Yes, DJ, that's the movie. Fuck
Okay.
sake.
Luna, what do you think of Quantumania?
I didn't see it, but
I ain't
I
seen
did
it.
see some stuff from it, and I wasn't really like I don't really like how they treated MODOK, especially with
Kang-
how evil that guy is.
Kang died to a bunch of ants.
Mhm.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He fucking Kang the Conqueror, the man that like fucking like conquers.
He
giant
lost
ants.
the fight to Ant.
You're telling me you're telling me the guy that
They
rules
spend an
multiverses and
entire.
planets
They
died
spend
to
an
ants?
entire.
Man, even the
an
music
entire,
is
like,
boring.
30-second. They spend
Oh my-
an entire 30-second monologue for Hank Pym to explain why ants
Is Kang-
it should be more like ants.
Oh, and
It should
like.
be-
Does Kang have a
communism.
wife? Does he have a wife in
Yeah.
this?
Is it
No.
communism or socialism where he's like, I know it has a negative connotation, but we can learn a lot, which is
Alright.
was,
so
it
funny
was-
coming
it
from a
was-
Disney
Does
movie.
Kang have a wife at least? Does he have a
Alright,
wife that he
alright.
wants to protect?
I don't
We've been
know.
talking so negatively. Let's talk about
however-
something positive now.
However,
Please, I must know. Does he have a
Kang-
wife?
However, it did give us this GIF, and this is one of
This
the
is like-
greatest. This is one of the greatest gifts
This
to.
movie gave us the best gift. by far.
It did.
Does he
give
have a
us one of
sword?
the
The
best
sword ship? Does he have a
gifts.
ship?
Yeah, he has a ship.
Those are my
sword-
ancestors watching me reach the highest rank in Jerkmate rank.
While watching Freaky.
Alright, anyways.
Alright, talking about something positive now.
Alright. This is the tricky one, only because how high up do we put it?
I say
What do you guys
below.
think?
Pick another tier.
Oh, okay.
Guardians 3.
Lamau. Yeah, there we go.
Perfect.
Alright, cool.
You should have
moving
just
on.
named it Guardians.
I'd put it below Infinity War, I think, but it's like right up there.
My personal preference is above, but I'm fine with that.
I
I'm gonna
prefer
agree with
above.
DJ. I think above Infinity War sits pretty well for me.
Nick got ratioed. This
I-
movie.
This
Oh my
movie
God.
really fucked with me on a really high emotional level. And it's like I knew this movie was so not gonna have like the best happy ending, but it's a bittersweet ending that also wraps up everything for the Guardian.
I am gonna be honest. I am nowhere near as attuned to the MCU as I guess I was in like middle school. No, early middle.
It was middle school.
It was middle
I
school.
remember.
And then I discovered Sonic and I stopped giving a shit. But the Guardians have always been like connected connected to me. I've always been super attuned to this series specifically, and I think it's all because of James Gunn. And
James Gunn just knows what to do, like how to really do superheroes, because I feel like he understands it a lot more than most people would.
I remember we saw a trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy, and my dad was like, "Let's go watch that," and it's just always been like the family favorite. We watched Volume 2 in theaters as well, and that movie hit me in a way I didn't know that like superhero movies could. And going into Volume 3, I like deliberately gave myself no expectations because I didn't know what to believe would be made of this team that I
They had the
like,
Among
grown
Us
to love.
astronaut uniforms.
They did. They Among Us.
They Among Us.
This movie worked
Top of S tier. never mind.
incredibly well. And yeah, no,
There's
you're
Among
right.
Us.
You're
Oh,
right.
I
Among Us.
can't wait to talk about this next one.
No, this movie worked incredibly well for me. And I still don't know where to put it compared to Volume 2, because it's going for something very different. I think honestly the only thing that doesn't work for me is how easily they thwart the big evil. Like that felt like that could have been a little better.
But I still think after everything
that's
said
it.
and done, this movie is still really fucking good.
I love the visual style. I love how weird and messed up a lot of it is.
It was the first MCU F-bomb.
It was, and it was in the because they like announced like, oh, this movie's gonna have an F-bomb, and everybody thought like it's gonna be some big serious moment, and it's a car door.
It isn't a fucking joke.
It's a car
And I was
door.
like, that's perfect.
That is
All right, now what?
incredible.
Open the fucking door.
I love this movie so much. It I think it boils down to the pacing wasn't as strong as the other movies, and like that's it. That's all that weighs it down for me. Like everything else is just the music's
right.
great in it. All right, Marvels, haven't seen it.
I have.
You like it.
I would
also
give it a bottom B.
I have to agree. I have to agree on this. I think for some reason this movie is a lot more enjoyable than Captain Marvel was.
This
But I
movie's
think
really.
because
The concept's neat, but
This movie's really hated for like no reason. This movie is legitimately just a fucking silly romp movie that for some reason online critics have like labeled a complete like disaster, which is just
And
not
granted,
fair.
yes, it was a
Because-
disaster box office wise.
Yeah,
this'll be fun.
Like as a movie, like it's just a fucking like I hate using the word fun as an excuse, but that is like legitimately what it is.
This
It's not
movie
taking
is
itself
fun.
seriously. It's not like
so how do you feel about
it's-
Deadpool and Wolverine?
we'll get there in a second. It's not taking itself seriously. It doesn't have widespread fucking like issues that completely devastate the Marvel lore. It just exists and has a fucking world where the characters go and sing a musical number. Like it's a ridiculous movie, and I enjoy that.
I can't remember if in that scene that the dude, the Prince dude, was played by a K-pop idol
I think
or
he
something
was.
like that.
I think he was because
So,
I remember hearing about
you've-
that.
So in case this goes out on Instagram or fucking Twitter, hey you fucking
Just running
K-pop
it out.
stands, yeah, we're watching you, you fucking weirdos. We know you smear your period blood tampons on the fucking posters, okay? Fuck you all for harassing everybody, and fuck you, and your fucking mother, your fucking bloodline, fuck you all. Okay, we're done.
Wow.
So how do you feel
I
about
don't like
Deadpool and
K-pop
Wolverine?
fans.
How does everyone else feel about Deadpool Wolverine?
I would put it.
They're Deadpool and Wolverine.
I'd put it above the first Deadpool.
Bam! I'd put it there.
I'd put it above the first Deadpool.
I think everyone might agree with me, but I used to like it, but then I just think about it. I'm like, wait, this They're just doing the same exact shit that No Way Home did. They're just doing like the Star Wars
I
shit
fuck
and
with this movie because
bunch
of
of, like,
Cassandra Nova.
fan service
alone.
shit.
Oh, Cassandra Nova's a baddie.
I
All of
fucking
it is
love
Oh, Cassandra Nova's a baddie. B for
Instead of
baddie.
Cassandra
Put this-
Nova,
B for
fingers
Bob
can
baddie.
go somewhere in me.
Oh,
but I'm
Why
not gonna
is this
say where.
below Iron Man 3? Personally,
B for Bald Baddie.
middle of C because it's just. It's,
I mean, you could
it's
almost
not-
say the
definitely
same
liked it
about,
more than the original Deadpool.
I think you
I
could
don't.
almost say
I
the
think that
same
the
for.
writing for Deadpool in this movie is
Brother.
monumentally worse. The first Deadpool movie at least tried to tap into his tragic story, and this movie completely ignores it.
Yeah.
The fucking girlfriend, who is the only reason why Deadpool has his conflict in the movie, does a completely out of character decision and leaves him, despite the fact that he has saved her twice.
Fucking Peter.
In this universe, it's crazy that she would just leave him because he's not doing enough. What the fuck? Are we bullshitting now? The whole idea of anchor beings is completely ridiculous and completely throws off the whole like MCU like thing. It's completely stupid because now everyone is forced to ask who the anchor being of the MCU is, and once that character is gone, the entire universe is fucked.
Good, kill them, please.
The whole like conflict starts because the fucking TVA guy is too stupid to tell Deadpool that he like can just take his friends to the MCU timeline, and instead he's like, oh yeah, we're going to fucking kill all your friends, and he expects Deadpool to be okay with them.
I think that was the entire point with his character. It's just like he didn't really care about the side characters in Deadpool's world. He just wanted Deadpool.
Right, but it's like he could like if he wanted Deadpool, why would he just flagrantly say that he was going to kill all of his friends? Like obviously he's not going to go with you for that. And then like the biggest, just like the most insane thing about this movie to me is that it just feels so like soulless in a really annoying way. The whole middle chunk of the movie is set in the most boring looking brown like wasteland, and the whole movie pretends like it really like wants like it really cares about like these older X-Men like Fox movies, like, and it's like almost like a morning session for them, but it's ridiculous because it's made by the fucking company that killed off
Fox.
those movies. It's like, what, like, how would you feel like in the afterlife if you looked down and your fucking murderer was giving a eulogy at your funeral? Like, that's ridiculous.
I get the feeling that's gonna happen in my life, actually.
Okay.
I don't know.
And I hear you. Counterpoint. Channing Tatum.
I don't.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. My internet.
Fucking
my dick.
like
All
skinny
52
scrawny
cards in my
guy.
asshole at once.
There you go, I'm back.
Gambit is a skinny scrawny guy whose whole emphasis is on his
Whoa, wait, whoa. Why am I getting good speed now? What is happening?
too fucking muscular.
There we go, I'm back. What is going
He
on?
just doesn't look.
We
He
have
doesn't
a
feel right in
problem
the
with
suit.
Gambit being muscular now?
Yes.
I
have a
disagree.
problem with Gambit being a fucking hunk of muscle instead of being fucking skinny and scrawny like he's supposed to be.
Counterpoint,
I
baddie alert.
disagree.
Baddie alert. Goddamn. Goddamn. Baddie alert. Bald baddie. B tier. No, I'll keep it in C. I feel. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
I still think C is a pretty good spot.
Yeah, I
do like the you know.
I like the humor in the movie. There's some really.
Yeah, I think the humor in this one
There's
is
some
definitely
really
more
funny-
hit than it is more than
Yeah.
the other movies.
I like.
Some of the other movies have jokes that just overstay their welcome, but I think Deadpool and Wolverine has it just like
Oh yeah, they don't make
Much
dubstep
more
jokes
easier.
in this one.
they made 3 dubstep jokes in Deadpool too.
How do you? Mhm.
I
All
kept
right,
track.
please tell us somebody actually watched Brave New World because I have not.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, word. What do you think?
Above Deadpool and Wolverine.
Damn. What do you think, Jacob?
I don't know. I'm still very unsure of how to feel about this movie. I'll be 100% honest.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with above Deadpool and Wolverine, and the reason why I say this is because, one, there's not any like earth-shatteringly like stupid things introduced in this movie.
Red Hulk.
Red Hulk isn't stupid.
I think Harrison Ford in the MCU is pretty earth-shatteringly stupid.
I disagree. I think his character is pretty good in this movie. It's by far the most interesting part of this movie is his like character, General I guess President Ross, who in this movie I think is like fascinating if you haven't seen any of the trailers, because the reveal that Red Hulk was like in the movie kind of like ruined one of the things that made the movie the most interesting, which is like this ticking clock kind of like where Harrison Ford's character in many different points would like almost transform into Red Hulk, and it was something where like there was tension there. Like it was like a slow burn and it felt kind of interesting. Especially like going alongside the mystery plot, which in my opinion was the lesser like interesting of the two plots. But like I felt like that whole like aspect of the movie was pretty good. My biggest issue with the movie is just the fact that they put Red Hulk in all of the marketing and put all of like literally put the scene where he transforms into Red Hulk into the trailer, which was ridiculous.
I think I finally figured out where, on this tier list at least, I'd sit Captain America Brave New World. And I personally would sit it below No Way Home. I think I'm left more wanting. I was left more wanting more stuff out of this movie than what we got. Some of the action stuff I will say I did like, but I think what really bogs it down for me is the ultimate villain of the movie. It's just like he has the whole capacity to basically see ahead, not like see ahead, but like plan ahead with almost an extremely good accuracy. But he gets his plan thrown off a decent number of times, and he lets himself get taken to jail because his plan didn't go the right way. That and the design I don't mind it, but it's not what I was once expecting out of it. And ultimately, I think with Marvel movies, it's like you have to find the right balance between having a entertaining villain and a, entertaining hero with it. But I think this movie just doesn't really strike that balance for me personally. And that's just me. That I just felt like I felt like there should have been more to it, and but it's like there was nothing else like that did it for me.
Okay.
I still feel like it's better than Deadpool and Wolverine. I feel like this movie kind of
would you say it's better than all of these though?
Yeah, I would.
Okay, we're gonna.
I just feel like in terms of
I'm willing to at least settle above Incredible Hulk. I'm at least willing to compromise for that.
That's good. I can go with that.
Here's one every huh? All right, I'll let you guys talk this one out. Yep, there you go. There you go.
I don't know if I'd put it that low. I'd maybe put it above No Way Home.
No Way Home wasn't soul-suckingly boring.
Okay, so I have a lot to say about Thunderbolts.
So I'm gonna set this up.
I have a lot to say about Thunderbolts. To me, I would put it above No Way Home because this movie, while its like thematic point is very on the nose and like obvious and not subtle at all. I mean, it has the subtlety of a
man with a megaphone.
yeah, it honestly, like, just the fact that it even has a thematic question is
Ant-Man and the Wasp
automatically makes it
had a thematic question, and it was easily the same tier of on the nose and frustrating.
I mean, I would argue it didn't. When it came to this movie, there was at least like something there. Like there were themes to grapple with. And I feel like those themes aren't really like they're actually developed in a way that any of the movies below it really don't do. What is the theme of No Way Home? Nothing. What is the theme of Multiverse of Madness? Maybe grief, but that doesn't really strike me as the whole through line of the movie because so much happens that isn't really even tied to it that it really just doesn't work for me as a thematic question, you know? With Thunderbolts, there's a lot of stuff where I admire the craftsmanship of the movie. There's shots where I'm like, oh, that was pretty good. You know, the use of shadows in the opening fight scene that like foreshadows the whole like what happens with Sentry later. That's a good shot, and it's a shot that is literally not in any like there's no shot comparable to it in any other of these newer Marvel movies because they're all shot really boringly except for maybe Multiverse of Madness.
Well, they had a banging director on Multiverse of Madness.
Exactly. And I think that in terms of like protagonists, I like Yelena in this movie more than I like any of the people in the movies below it. Like I really don't care for any of the other characters in these like other movies as much as I care about her.
But I think
arc.
part of that is her actress.
That's true, but it still works, you know. And
it didn't
for
work
me,
for me.
Now, I will get into why I don't like it as much because I'm playing a lot of devil's advocate, but there are a lot of things that I dislike about this movie as well. One is obviously like the subtlety. It's not subtle at all. It's really on the nose. Its message really suffers from being so on the nose because it kind of feels like a Hollywood executive that doesn't really understand mental illness's take on mental illness, and that's really frustrating. It has like a Steven Universe future ending, and that's not me being like derogative or like boiling the ending down to like anything. Like, that's not me doing any of that. It literally is the same ending where Steven Universe and Steven Universe Future turns into a giant kaiju depression monster, and then all of his friends hug him, and he turns into Steven. And in this movie, Lewis Pullman's character is punching depression Lewis Pullman, and the characters hug him, and he's cured. And which it's like
such a hand wavy.
And the thing is, it's somehow worse than the Steven Universe Future ending, because at least in Steven Universe Future, after they save him from being the kaiju, he goes on, and the next episode is about him like leaving the town, like he's leaving so that he can go seek mental health help, like he's going to therapy and such, which is a step that the characters in this movie never actually do or consider. Which is insane, because if your whole topic is about mental health, the first thing on the mind of the characters, like once they have identified there is a problem, should be getting therapy. But that's just not like the thing that is decided upon. And that's kind of crazy when you have a movie that is so importantly tied to its theme that like you can't, like, it really hurts the film to not even consider that part of it.
Yeah.
I do like how Sentry and his costume kind of, like, reflects the bipolar nature of Lewis Pullman's character. I like the fact that he's, like, described as having delusions of grandeur and then moments of, like, complete, like, depression and emptiness, and that is completely shown through just the costuming on Sentry, where, you know, he feels like he's at the top of the world. He has his golden suit, and then after, when he has his like huge
like, you know, Spiral, he like turns into a black monster, you know, like a void. And I think that's a very good visual representation. The Void Sentry is a very cool idea. It's one that's actually not from the comics, to my knowledge, which is very sick. But even like in discussing those like thematic elements, I feel like the movie with its theme and what it's saying is so like scatterbrained even, which is also kind of crazy because the theme is very in your face, but it somehow gets muddled like during the latter half of the movie, because Yelena is told by her father that she needs to rely on other people, and that's like the whole idea. You know, the whole idea is like, well, you know, it's you need to rely on others. But then Yelena and the team meet up, they fight back, and Yelena decides to go into the Shadow Realm thing by herself. And that's not shown to be like a bad decision. That is the decision that helps them win, because it shows the other characters that you can go in there. And that's kind of crazy to me, because if this movie was really taking in that idea that they need to work together, then they should have all gone in at the same time.
Yeah.
But they didn't, because they needed to have Yelena's solo moment, because this is in essence a Yelena movie.
But they could have,
and I think that's the biggest issue.
They could have had them all spread off into their own little personal demons and fight it themselves, even if they all stepped in together. And that would have been a really big moment for all the characters to look at each other and acknowledge we should all do this together, because they don't really ever come to that realization. They just kind of know by the end, and it didn't feel like a gradual progression of like, oh shit, we should like value each other, because it even felt like even before they fought Sentry for the first time, it felt like they were still kind of at each other's throats, and it
feels like kind of crazy, because it's frustrating, because there's so much that could have been like tweaked to make this a genuinely good movie.
If this was a 90-minute romp, I would be so much nicer on this movie. It just drags and accomplishes very little.
Yeah, that's like I feel like there's so much that could be like there's so like much that could have been tweaked very easily to make this a very good movie.
Yeah.
But I feel like because it wasn't reworked and such in certain areas, it just really hinders the experience. So I mean, like, it's
Taskmaster's in all of the marketing just for that character to die in the first 2 minutes. Lamau.
I mean, like, even when it comes to like what we were just talking about with Yelena going into the room by herself, like even the part before that, the second act breakup, I'm sorry, the way that they wrote it was so like contrived and boring and lame. Like,
I'm trying to remember how
Yelena yells at all the other characters. She's like, you all suck, except for Bucky, who she never yells at, but he still, like, you know, leaves, because they couldn't think of anything for her to say to him, because they do not interact at any other point in the movie. And then she leaves, and the Red Guardians gives her his speech, which, to be fair, her whole speech to him and his whole speech back are two actually pretty well written parts of the movie. But
I believe you. I do not remember it.
But then they go back and they save some people, and then everyone else returns without needing a pep talk, even though they all decided to leave of their own volition, which kind of just is like, why did they all come back? Why are we doing this?
Why did they even have
Why did we have the breakup if we're just gonna have everyone come back like 2 minutes later?
It's
like, what?
It's very Maui and Moana saving grace, even though why?
Anyway, very long tangent. The reason why this tangent was longer than all the other ones is because I watched this movie the most recently out of everything else.
I liked the music.
So it's very fresh in my mind. But that's why I would put it above
No, you're right.
No Way Home. I just feel like it is better. It's just not very good, in my opinion.
The scene that keeps like flashing in my mind when I think about this movie is the one where they like save the little girl and then she immediately dies. That scene is really, really funny, and it isn't supposed to be, but it was, yeah, I was trying not to laugh really hard in the theater.
And the thing is, I do respect that this movie was trying to talk about mental health. I just feel like it did so pretty poorly.
Yeah, and in all of the marketing, they place so much importance on the big black fart that like everybody faded away and died to, and it made it seem really, really dire and really like actually scary and threatening, just for it to be really, really, really easily reversed and done away with. And it's like, okay, then why? Okay. We spent 2 hours and however many minutes effectively doing nothing, just talking about our feelings in a mental health movie. You can deal with mental illness and mental health a lot. Fucking Guardians Volume 3 is about a depressed space raccoon, and it works far better for me because they not only balance tone, but the pacing's a lot better. There's a lot going on. It's very juicy. Thunderbolts is dry. Thunderbolts is a very, very dry steak. Like, I'm still gonna have a meal out of it, but it's boring. There's not enough salt you can add to this steak. You can put the Everything Everywhere composer on it. You can get social media people to gas it up. It's not gonna make it any less dry.
That's my personal opinion. I know that Jacob disagrees,
which is fine.
That's just
Jacob. Where would you put it personally? I'll reflect it. I think Jacob fell asleep.
Oh,
nope, I am awake.
Okay.
All right. So I know you guys.
We spent 10 minutes bashing into it. Let's add some levity. What do you like about it?
Maybe it's just me, and because I've been really trying not to self-doubt myself, and the last few months that I had to deal with have been some of the hardest I've had to deal with, so I haven't been really in the right mental space. And this movie, I think, strikes a little bit more because at least it's acknowledging not just, women's mental health, but it's acknowledging men as well. That even if it's a little on the nose, I think the fact that they're even mentioning it at all strikes a little bit harder with me personally, in the slightest. And I know you guys,
I don't know. It just that theme never connected for me, other than with Bob, obviously. But it felt like the other ones, they just kind of brushed them away, and all the men in this movie are just kind of unlikable, other than Bucky and Bob. Like the Russian guy
John is a very unlikable guy.
Yeah, no, John is unlikable but they never resolve that. Like they go into his issues, but they drop it like kind of immediately. So the men's mental health point doesn't fully land.
Well, where did you want to put it? Like, where would you put it in your personal ranking?
This is a hard movie to rank alongside. It's very different compared to the rest of the MCU. Where would you put it though? Just like first glance. Oh, word. Aubrey, where would you put it?
The movie that you have right now.
Yes, Thunderbolts. There is a lot of shirtless men in this movie.
No, there's not.
Bucky.
He's never shirtless.
Oh no, he's in a tank top. Never mind.
That's basically the same thing for me.
No, he's in just a shirt.
Is he not in a tank top?
Why are you making up this narrative, DJ?
When he dishwashes, when he dishwashes his friggin'
you're
arm?
right. You're right.
Exactly.
No, I'm sorry. The only moment I remembered with Bucky like taking off like clothing was when he took off his jacket during the fight with Sentry.
No, he was still in a shirt.
Yeah.
I would say I don't know because I haven't seen the movie, so I'm gonna.
Luna, where did you
I'm
put
like
it?
between B and a C because I'm like,
I never
wow,
saw
like
it.
Bucky's like really hot and sexy, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I think, I know there's a lot of hype around the movie, and I want to see it. But like, I, from my like own perspective, like most of these movies have just been me gauging the difference of like sex appeal on the characters. So I would say, the
Bob
cast is pretty
sexy.
sexy enough. So it's probably like I don't know. In terms of sexiness, I would say B. For movie quality, I don't know.
All right, that settles it. Top of S tier, and that's our list.
I mean, the sexy men don't kiss.
Where was
though.
it? Here? Yeah, there we
I know.
Is
I
that
wish
like a-
they did though.
Yeah.
go. Luna, where would you put it?
I never saw it.
Yeah, where would you put it?
Oh, I don't know. See,
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, Jacob's back.
Jacob.
Where would you put it, Jacob?
See, I'm settling on B tier. I'm settling on above Age of Ultron, but below Shang-Chi, personally.
So you'd put it like here?
Yeah,
Okay.
like middle of B.
I'll put it... I have more respect for this movie than I do the Deadpool movies, so I'll put it
Yeah,
there.
I agree.
There you
I can fuck with that.
And
yeah.
Fantastic Four hasn't come out yet, so that means it's bottom F, and that's our list. There we go.
Yay! We did it!
That took way longer than I was expecting. I thought this was gonna be
Yeah,
like
me
an
too,
hour-long romp, and we could have watched an hour 30 movie in that time. But
Yeah,
we
we
have it.
could've.
How do I get? Uh-oh. Okay, it's just actually an F tier. How do I get rid of it? There we
No,
go.
just put a new column that's like not out yet.
No, that's boring.
Okay.
I wish I
You're
could.
lame.
Never mind.
Yeah. In fact, how dare you even suggest the idea? All right, there's our list.
Red Moon, Target Insight.
What? What?
Red Moon, make
What?
his balls explode.
Red Moon, Sicko.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
my god, everyone.
Oh no! Oh no!
Everyone just left.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh! Oh! That didn't work well.